you doing?
What's going on? Ain't got no mic?
Yeah, right there. They drooping everywhere. You're like, yeah.
Word, Snob. What's up, y'all? Like, you been at? You been at? Like,
Push that door shut, please. Thank you.
Man, this is not the free I know.
Hold on, he's that camera.
Soon as free up in the phone, he throw it down. This ain't the hospital, I know. What you? Dapper, my guy. Yeah. I thought switching up every now and then. Throw the Adidas on. Well, this name, Kobe, need this?
What, that?
Welcome to In the Spotlight. This your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. Yeah, we started a little late, but you know I always have some kind of something going on around here. Tonight I have something rare. It's actually a guest that I have no clue who they are. You know, I usually know everybody that comes through here. But my man Skip hit me up and said, I got somebody, you got some time? I stay booked up. Like, I'm booked right now until March. Like, I have no Saturdays available till March. Like I said before, this is not an interview. This is a conversation. We're probably going to get off topic. I talk about whatever. It always comes back around to the music. So with that being said, I want y'all to introduce yourself to the people. Oh, and by the way, this is YouTube right here. And that's Hard Body Radio Facebook Live.
All right.
So not only are you on the radio, but you're being seen. Yes.
Anyway,
right.
All right. Hopefully well, I'm Frank Duke. You know what I'm saying? You know, I do what I do from Baltimore with the Snobs. This is in this ugly ass fucking hoodie.
It's gorgeous, my guy.
Yeah, my friend is an Eagles fan.
Nah, not like it. It's my man Frio.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi for B.
YouTube, what's up? Facebook, what's poppin'?
You got no MySpace training?
No. Give me a little bit of time. I'll probably get that too. Like, I'm doing good with the YouTube right here. This I do YouTube because that way so they can watch the whole interview. So I do it that way because Facebook is so hard to like find.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it was
not
like,
everybody instructions for Facebook.
I don't have time for all that. My attention span does not work for me. So everybody's like, "Oh, Lisa, you need to go. You need to go live on Facebook." No, I don't. YouTube is fine with me. Just sometimes my phone wants to act crazy.
Hold on, let me introduce myself.
Oh yeah.
Look, see, what I tell you.
My name is Pot. I make beats. You know what I'm saying? Short for jackpot. You know, breaker of chains, mother of dragons.
First in his name.
That's what's up.
Snobs never die.
Yeah, so that's something I wanted to ask you because, like, when I sent you the email, I was like, I need the information so I can put it on the flyer, pictures or whatever. Because, like, my other flyers, like I said, most of the people that come through my show's been running since September of last year. Mm-hmm. So most everybody that comes through is somebody that I already know, with the exception of I have Pennsylvania that comes down every month now. I have a friend up there that I met through the music scene, and he brings the artist down here once a month. So I don't know them, and they're about the only ones that I don't know. This right here, like, I'm always like, okay, I like to be able to know who I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. So my flyers, when I make them, has pictures that probably I've taken because being the Baltimore Paparazzi, I've taken a lot of pictures of a lot of people. So, it's the pictures of them. So I was like, okay, what am I putting this flyer? So when you said it to me, it was like Snob Music. I was like, is that the like group name or? So explain that.
That's the collective. That's the slogan. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much.
It's probably not gonna work. That's one of the ones that's just It's just like
I'll be like, yo, yeah. So I was saying.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the slogan. That's the pretty much what we go by. You know, like I was about to say.
Like I need to like
why it's never died? Like you gotta
but like because like I mean like I say, okay, I'm the Baltimore Paparazzi, and you're like, well, how the fuck is she the Baltimore Paparazzi then? You know what I mean?
So let me tell you. All right, let me tell you how.
So let's go down memory lane.
Memory lane.
There we go.
So we started off as the Arrogant Empire.
Okay.
We were, you know what I'm saying?
I'm loving these unique names because I don't know about y'all, but I hate hearing somebody say, "Oh yeah, so little so and so," and you be like, "Yo, from over west," to be like, "No, he's from over east." You're like,
like the same name.
Yeah. So I'm loving the uniqueness.
Yeah, because it pretty much embodied us. At that time, we didn't give a fuck about anything.
Still don't.
Still don't, actually. We're just more, we were brash and we were out there. And, yeah, so we did our thing then.
It was a heavy cut. It was a lot more people.
It was a lot more people.
We was like deep like Wu-Tang pretty much.
All up and down the East Coast.
On some Odd Future shit. Like,
yeah, before Odd Future. So it was people in like Philly, you know, Jersey. You know.
So it really was a collective.
Yeah, so it's a real collective. So we had different styles and stuff like that. And then everybody started branching off more and doing their own thing.
As you grow.
As you grow. And then it kind of fizzled for a second. But we always called ourselves Snobs. Well, actually, wasn't it?
So if you was down with the Arrogant Empire, you was a snob.
Well, it kind of fits because when you think of somebody who is arrogant, they're a snob.
Yeah.
So that kind of fits.
So we started.
So Pod actually started a clothing line, Snob Society, when you dropped our first merchandise. And then we took it from there, so everything was a snob from there.
Oh, okay.
So Snob the builder,
you know.
And see, and then once again, that's something that is unique. Not that it's if somebody's seen that, they were like, I know who that is. Yeah. Or they don't know who it is and they need to find out.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now we on hard snobby radio, right?
You gonna have to take that up with Skip. Skip is my boss.
Skip's my home.
Him in 3D.
Skip a snob too.
Yeah, Skip a snob too. I know Skip since shit. Fucking middle school. Shit.
Yeah, when Her Body Radio, we just celebrated 6 years this year. And that was my phone. It was one of my games. That was one of my games. That was one of my games letting me know to come back and play. But I met Skip and them like when Her Body Radio came out and everything. And Her Body Radio, when I used to, In the Spotlight is my brand along with my Baltimore Paparazzi. I have a mixtape series called In the Spotlight. I had a showcase show that was over a year that was called In the Spotlight. And my very first show, Skip came out with the camera and he interviewed every artist that hit my stage that night. And, he didn't ask me for no money. He just because it was me, he came out. And I went to him, I was like, I should start a radio show. It's 5 years ago. And I said, I should start a radio show. He was like, come on. And I was like, I'm not ready just yet. It took me 4 years. So when I was like, I put on Facebook, I'm getting ready to start this radio show. I had people coming out the woodwork. Lisa, you need to come over here and do the radio show with us. You need to come over here and do the radio show. And I was like, nah, Her Body Radio was the first one to offer me a show. Yeah. And I've been here for over a year.
Nice.
So
shout out to that.
That's
blessings next year.
You know what I mean? So we, Skip has always been one of those people. Me and Skip have sat down and, and talked about a lot of things, a lot of his going into being Muslim and everything else. So we've had said, you know, in case anybody that's listening or whatever doesn't realize, I'm white. I sound black, but I'm not. I'm white. So
and
him and
Muslim?
Huh?
You're Muslim?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I really don't. I really don't have any kind of preference or anything. I study everything, and I learn from everybody. So me and Skip have had sit downs and talked about a lot of things. He was like, you know, Lisa. He's like, I listen to what Farrakhan says, but I don't hate you because you're white.
Look at my guy.
So
Lost.
So, you know, Skip is one of those people that, you know, he's one of those you keep close to you.
Yeah, like,
you know, so yeah.
So he's always been, and I fuck with him because he's always been like straight. Like,
oh yeah,
he has no filter.
None
at all,
whatsoever. None. He's just gonna like you either gonna tell him he gonna tell you like it is, and either you're gonna be like.
You might
okay.
You might have a sidebar. Cuba to come in here with earmuffs. You gotta turn the camera on.
Oh,
you got to wrap around the neck.
Wrap around the neck.
No.
One, dog.
Come on in.
You're looking like a bad guy from Home Alone.
He's out. Yeah.
You got the weirdest style. Like,
he was smoking a cigarette. He didn't know he could smoke in here. There's ashtrays up there.
Can we smoke right here?
Yes. You didn't smell it in the damn hallway?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Applebee's a week.
No, everybody said, what? Wait a minute, hold up. Yeah, is that door unlocked? Because I know.
I locked it because I was scared.
Baka. What y'all smoke?
There's ashtrays right there. That's why I tell you, come on in, you can smoke in here.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, his earmuffs, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Say earmuffs. If you want to go in that, go through there's that door, and the next door there'll be a room. There's chairs in there. That's supposed to be the photography room, but it's.
National TV.
So, you know, and so back to you know, now I understand the name even, you know, clearly now. You know,
Yeah,
that's
it's like we used to snobs and we never die.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like babies. You like babies, kids. You don't die, just multiply.
I got a whole theory about why snobs never die.
Okay.
So snobs never die. So I consider, you know, great people to be snobs. To be genius, you kind of got to be an asshole.
Yeah.
You got to kind of color us other lines. You know, Steve Jobs is a snob. You know, Walt Disney's probably a snob. You know,
Pablo Escobar is a motherfucker.
Big snob.
Kanye West is a snob. You know, you
right.
kind of got to believe in your own path and walk your own path.
Right.
And whatever you do, you make a legacy, and your legacy never dies.
Right.
Snob.
I like that. I like that. I like that logic. I like the fact that, because like I've had interviews with people, and I ask them a question, and they be like, and then.
It sound cool.
I'm like, okay. You know, that's why I said like I don't call these interviews anymore because they're just conversations. Like I'll ask a question and like say I ask a question and then I start talking about Skip. I go, my ADHD, ADD, all them alphabets just start kicking in.
I know what you mean.
What's your name, Sugar?
Lisa.
Lisa, all right, thank you.
Yeah. And I don't know what happened to the mic. We used to have mic. We had all the mics right here.
We on Facebook.
And then this is YouTube.
Yeah,
and
we
this
on
is
Black Planet over there.
Hey, I met my husband on Black Planet.
I got a lot of tail off Black
He did have an
animated background.
with the flaming text, yo.
We gotta bring him back.
Right.
Y'all got the movie ass thing?
Yeah, I got actually like I was a whole EP or something you sent me. It was like a whole lot of music.
You know, it's a selection.
I know.
It's a little selection.
Oh, and just so you know, everybody that comes on my show, this will be on the. I got to put this one out, and there'll be another one, and I don't know if you'll be on this one or the next one. But you know, every artist that comes through here has a song that's on the mixtape, and I just posted up on Audio Mac. I used to put it on Dat Piff, but you know.
Yeah, you can put it on that.
So So I do all that, you know. And I do it all because I try to get people to notice other artists out, you know. Because my one question is, okay, how long have you all been doing music?
Wow.
That question,
like, where did you all, like, you know, like when did you realize that this is what I'm talking about if you was back in elementary school making beats or middle school making beats on the table during lunchtime, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I always was writing my whole life, and I like write plays and stories and all that.
Yeah.
So then I'm not gonna lie, like when I was really young, my older brother was bumping like Wu-Tang and stuff. I just wanted to watch Cartoon Network, and then you know Rap City was really big.
Right.
You know, people was recording videos and all that. And then one time, I think it was like 1996, I like wrote my first bars to like a track, and then we got to middle school. I don't know, like, you know, people in my neighborhood, we linked together and we recording on Windows Media, you know, recording software, and that was it. Well, Acid Pro, and I just tried, not Acid Pro, this other joint, Magic Studios or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how old I am. Okay?
I'm older than all of y'all, I'm sure.
This is how we used to record like this. We had one boom box.
Yeah.
We had another
The boom box.
And they had a tape.
The tape, the instrument on the side, cause, you know, tape on the other tape because we ain't had no blanks.
And
then if you didn't have no blanks and you had this cassette tape that you really didn't like the music on it anymore, you put the little paper inside of the tape over top and record over that shit.
You know what I used to motherfucking rap on when I was a kid? Yeah, my mother's answering machine.
I remember having a verse on my voicemail.
That nigga's in jail and shit.
I was doing that for all y'all niggas.
Yeah, I've never heard the answer machine. That's a good one.
She had an extra answering machine in the crib or whatever. She worked
shit.
for like
Y'all had
that shit. So we had two phone lines. I had my phone line, that was my personal line and shit, so I could talk to all my little shorties and shit like that when I was in high school and junior high school. And then she had her personal line, and on my personal line, me and my brother, we would hop on the answering machine and be rapping bars and shit.
That's awesome. I like that. I like that. That's like I said, I like unique things. So that's something I have never heard. I probably will never hear again. But yeah.
I got a picture of the answering machine and everything. I was at my mother's house the other day and I seen that shit. I said, yo.
He had flashbacks. He was having flashbacks.
Yeah, but I started pretty much the same way. Tape to a tape, or rapping into the computer screen on the little mic. That was like 17.
At the house, man. I just thought
You started at 17?
No, he said it was at 17.
I started at 17.
Oh, you started late.
Late as shit.
Oh,
You started mad.
That's why he was whack.
So when you know, when you heard, what was the one song or the one artist that you heard when you know, because like I said, I go all the way back to the beginning. Like Sugar Hill Gang was my shit. Like as soon as I heard Rapper's Delight, I was like, oh wait a minute, hold up, what is this? You know, you gotta understand, I'm a white girl from the country. You know what I mean?
Where you from?
I'm from the Eastern Shore.
Okay.
Like right over the bridge, and I grew up next to a cornfield. No. That's down. I'm talking. No, that's down. I'm talking about instead of going Route 50, you go 301, and it's a little town. It's a little town about this big. We got one stoplight.
I used to ride up there, sleep on the side of the road when I was trying to use the thing. So I was too long. I know what that is.
Yeah, and so like I'm like 20 minutes from Dover, Delaware, like 5 minutes from the Delaware state line. But you know, my parents were listening to 50s, 60s, 70s rock and roll, you know, and all that. And my mother sang Tammy Wynette, and you know, country music, bluegrass music was around. So when I heard hip hop, the hippity hip to the hip hop, I was like, oh wait a minute.
I ain't never liked that shit. Yo.
Really?
Yeah, I ain't never liked that.
I mean, you from the shore, my guy.
Yeah, you Jim Tan Laundry all day. Like.
But see, that was But see, that was like I was at the beginning of the hip hop era, so I got to see I've seen it transition and transition and transition, in transition. So it sucks. But no, I'm gonna tell you like it is. I've had this conversation with numerous people, and the way that I look at it is how rock and roll has you have rock, but then you have all different types. Yeah. We have hip hop, and everything's just classified as hip hop, and it's not. We branched off when we had the gangster. We branched off and had the gangster rap because that's when NWA, that was gangster rap. But everybody wants to classify like this mumble rap and this other crazy shit that's going on into just hip hop, and it's a branch of it all. Oh, it's got to evolve. I understand it's got to evolve. I'm stuck back in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm sorry. I like substance. I like being told a story. Yeah. I like words.
Yeah, I like
early 2000s hip hop was like the craziest era of all time. You had Dipset. You had State Property. You had Rockefeller.
But you also had Soulja Boy.
Oh, yes.
But you also had Soulja Boy and Franchise Boys.
That came out.
I actually like
it. They was like 2002.
You know what I mean? Like
it was popping.
Now,
Nappy Roots in 2000.
Hey, I met Nappy Roots. This was the coolest motherfucker. They were the coolest motherfuckers in the world. So like I just heard like somebody had posted up the Cardi B the Cardi B song, the new one.
The new joint.
And the only thing I like the beat. The beat is like I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm rocking off the beat. Then she starts rapping and she's not that usual twangy stuff or whatever. But I'm still not listening to her words.
Yeah, the beats is the main thing that's driving the music nowadays.
Producers running shit right now.
Right. But everybody wants to say it's the songs, and it's not because everybody's like, oh, well, you got to listen to the words. I can't even get past.
What they put on the radio is very different from what you can find just on the internet.
Right.
And I don't know what it is behind the radio and why they keep circulating the same shit.
Because
don't
it's
nobody
called...
want to hear lyrics in the club, though. You trying to shake your tail feather.
Right.
I don't know that. But all I know,
it
does take a skill to do some of things. Like, Migos are extremely skilled. You might not like the content of their lyrics, but that flow in the pocket they find for their flow,
Travis Scott makes some good songs too.
That's an extreme.
And what I've noticed is this, and I've always noticed this because I'm one of those people that I pay attention to a lot of details. I pay attention to a lot of things. And when I first got into the underground hip hop here in Baltimore, like I paid attention to because I went to school for business and marketing and advertising. So when I came in and people were like, I was giving them knowledge without telling them my background. Like I play stupid all the time. I'd be sitting there playing dumb all the time. And then when I start saying stuff, you're like, wait a minute, hold up. How you know that? So what I've noticed is this. The radio gets, the songs that get played on the radio, the songs that get played on the radio is what's coming from the labels.
Yeah.
Now, I had somebody tell me, well, this is what the kids are listening to. Well, this is what they're being told is what's hot. This is what they're being told to listen to. Now, I used to be the ringtone lady on Poplar Grove back in the day. And that's when I first started getting into the local scene. And I'd be playing local artists all the time. And I tell the kids all the time, you need to listen to the local artists. And they'd be like who? And they start naming the people that they hear on the radio, which is at that time about like 4 or 5 people. And I'm like, no. He's like, they're all whack. No, there's a whole lot. Let me tell you, I had two young men sitting in those seats right there a couple weeks ago. We went through we had a 3-hour conversation. We went the whole 3 hours. At the end, I said something about Poplar Grove. And it was like, Poplar Grove used to live out. I said, yeah, I used to be the ringtone lady. We're like, oh, shit, we just come get ringtones from you. Now they're artists in the local scene. You know what I mean? So, they're being told to listen to this music. That's what's being played on the radio. Me, personally, on my show, I only play local artists. Other shows here play industry artists. They play industry music. I don't. I believe that putting the spotlight on underground artists. I hate saying local, but the underground artist is more important because a lot of the music that you guys make should be on that radio. And that's why I put them on the radio. You know what I mean? So
I don't want to be on the radio.
But see, and that's
a lot of people popping right now that ain't on the radio. You don't really need the radio.
Gucci gang. I can't even say that.
I mean, and it's like I've said for years. I used to say for years, you all can do this independently. You just have to be able to do it and put the money behind yourselves.
Yo, but wait, why wouldn't you want to be on the radio though?
I don't know. I just want to say what I want to say. Like, I mean, I guess I would.
He doesn't want to be censored for, you know, like I said, you don't want to be told, okay, case in point, the Creek Boys. That I don't know if you know.
How they changed their.
They had to change.
I ain't like that.
They had to change it because
they said, what did it say? In my city got a lot of murders. They had to
it said I had it pulled up last week, but it's something in the N word is in it, and it's something about Baltimore. And when they signed that deal that they signed, it was like, oh yeah, by the way, we need you to change this line right here.
And that's what I was on bullshit.
Exactly.
You know, and that's my thing when everybody used to back in the day, oh, I want to get a deal. I'm like, for what? Oh, because this, that, and the third, the signing bonus. I said, do you not realize that money they give you, got to pay back?
Maybe all kinds of stipulations. Or they get you with the 360.
You just gotta take that shit and use it though. Like,
but they wouldn't. Right. But at that time,
financial investor, right?
But at that time, you know for yourself.
He don't make no beats.
But at that time, you give a 18 or 19-year-old that much money. And they don't know, and you don't tell them that they got to pay that money back because they're not reading this. They just sign it because, hey, guess what? I got a deal. You know, Comp, for one. Comp got signed to Def Jam. Comp still has a project sitting at Def Jam that will never see light. You know what I mean? There's, you know what I mean? So back then, things were a lot different. Now, because you can have, like, we talk about MySpace, we joke about MySpace, but do you remember when MySpace, you could only put 4 songs on there and that was it? You know what I mean? Like, you had to decide.
Say my shit.
So now, and then, like, if you try to put a video on YouTube, oh my God, it took all day and part of the next day to get it to upload.
Yeah.
So now, everything is a lot easier. Now people are like, oh, you can find my music, you can buy my Tech 9. And not only because of his music, but his business, along with Travis O'Gwen, who is the CEO. Like, I like being able to...
Independent legend right there.
You know, I that's why I keep telling everybody, you can do this independently. Legend. Look at down in Texas with UGK, when they was selling shit out of their trunks.
Yeah.
You
Percy
know?
Miller.
Yes!
The ice cream. You're missing one key fact. It's the bread. Like,
right. Well, I did say that you have to be able to invest.
You have to invest.
Most motherfuckers that I deal with day in day out, they sell dope.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's unless they're working really hard. At the same time, it's like it requires a lot of money, and a lot of people don't. I'm not gonna say they don't want to put the money up. I'm gonna say they're very cautious.
Right.
Right. Very apprehensive to really invest in what they want to do because they're not sure they're going to see their return.
Right.
And that's why drug dealers pop because they got a lot of time.
Right.
They got a lot of money.
You need both.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I feel like if an artist really wants to come up, a group really wants to come up, they'll put their music out for their local city, but then they also got to travel. And that's what the missing thing is. If they don't travel, and other people, because everyone want to know what Baltimore is.
I feel like the music, just in general, in all aspects of music, is a little oversaturated now because anybody could just fucking download Fruity Loops and make beats or record, and it's a good and a bad. And at the same time, you don't really have to travel as much anyway because YouTube is popping right
See,
now.
and that's what I was getting ready. And that's what I was getting ready to say.
Type in Cleveland rap. And all these hits.
But tell you the truth, you're right about that. But real quick though, nowadays because we spend so much time on the internet, we kind of savor experiences more. Yeah. So if you can go to a show and actually experience,
touch that person,
it means more than just watching a video.
It's
like,
you can watch the demand up by doing that shit though. Like you first got to get the demand.
Yeah, but if you go to a comedy show, like if you watch a corny ass comedian on TV, you might not laugh. You go to Comedy Factory, you might never heard of them in your life, and it's like the funniest shit in this world.
Right, but what I found as far as like me being the person that my first year in, I went to 60 shows between here and Brooklyn, New York, covering shows with my camera because I didn't know anybody. So I was learning people, and I was going to shows and all. what I've seen now is just like what you said. It's the YouTube generation where they go and put a YouTube and these are the kids like Peso the Mafia, which have the Money Man song, which my grandson who's 3 loves that damn song, and like he and they get on there and they can reach more people that way, and they're getting their hoods. Like, they're getting the hood to follow them and everything else. Me, personally, I want to go to shows. I want to see what you can do on that stage because I kid you not. I had this guy come up to me one night. We were out at Vanity Room, and Ogun was the host. Ogun was like, yo, the bar with Paparazzi is in here. I was like, shut the hell up. I don't want to be bothered tonight. I just want to shoot my pictures and that's it. Dude walks out to me and goes, yo, get your camera ready because my man get on stage. He going to do it. Okay, my camera's always ready, but okay. So he gets up on stage. I'm expecting him to do something the whole set. He's like this. Eyes closed. Back and forth. Just spitting. I'm like...
Did he have the track of himself under himself while he was rapping?
Oh, you mean like he could just give me the CD and I can put it in the car and listen? Yeah.
Yeah. Why do people do that?
Because this is the argument. This is the argument, and I swear he looked like he's about my age. This is the argument. We just had this conversation like last week or so. Sound systems suck.
Yep. They do, but
90% of the times they do.
They do.
Can't understand shit.
Well,
my goodness.
That's why you got to bring your.
That's why you do some kind of a sound check. Like, you want to be professional about it, but they don't care.
And they do it with any, like, I get somebody who sends stuff to my emails. Like, I did a couple shows with them, but it's like, they say to come for a sound check. They don't do a sound check. They just check your name off and see if you sold tickets. And then you go in there and your shit is all fucked up. I'm not doing a show with him anymore. Like, why would you even want to do that shit?
Right. So, like I said, I've been going to shows since 2008, and yes, this is true. There are a lot of shitty sound systems. I'm not gonna lie, but when you're not holding the mic right, I've been to shows where the guys. I was at Summer Jam. I covered Summer Jam for 92Q, and I'm down there and I'm taking pictures, and it was the Creek Boys. They were on stage. I don't know these dudes. I know D-Boy. You know, he was the one mentoring them or helping them out or whatever. I know D-Boy. I know him. I don't know these kids. So they're up there and they jumping around. The music is playing. And, like, they're not... I hear them, but they're not speaking. They're not in the...
So it's
I'm just like, who is telling these people? Like,
it's a formula to do it. And I feel like, first thing is, what I'm tired of is seeing artists that don't want to get the technical knowledge. You know, like, what should I do? How should I perform? What is proper mic technique? What is all these things?
Right.
They just wanted to go in blindly and think, I'm just going to rap over this segment of time and everyone's going to appreciate it because I'm the hottest shit.
Right.
You know, and then they turn out being disappointed. Then they think it's the venue's fault that they were not prepared or they were, you know, lacking knowledge of how to get their sound out. So, I mean, it's a part on both. You know, there is some shitty sound systems, but I feel like if you just take the time to understand, YouTube is really...
You got the audio engineer on the case.
Well,
I'm just saying, like, you know, hands out there.
Not only that,
out there, research how to get this shit done right.
If you surround yourself with a bunch of yes men, and you know, like I've had people in here and they have done exactly like they've gone and they've asked people like who have been in the scene longer than them, or you know, some almost like a mentor kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Nobody, there really is no kind of, you know, nobody helping anybody out. It's like I get this knowledge and I'm keeping it for myself, and I'm not going to help the next one. And you know, me personally, I could be getting paid for a lot of stuff that I do because I have a lot of. Oh, Lisa, do you know a videographer? I know a lot of videographers. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lisa, do you know photographers? I know plenty of photographers. Mm-hmm. Do you know producers? You know, I tell them all the time. I'll be like, hit so and so up. Tell him I sent you. I'm not guaranteeing he's gonna give you any money off, but you're gonna have to pay for them beats. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'm always directing people in the ways to go. I don't hold on to any knowledge. I've had my friend of mine, she started doing photography too. So she's at shows, I'm at shows, we both taking pictures, my pictures look different than hers because we have a different perspective of what we're shooting and how we're shooting. She asked me, she was like, Lisa, how do you watermark? I put my watermark program on a disc, went over to her house, put it on her computer, and showed her how to use it.
That's love.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? What does it mean not helping her out, hurting me?
Exactly.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just like if somebody come to y'all and ask you for advice on you know, the music side, are you just gonna say, man, I can't help you?
You got to do it yourself.
No, but I will say, if you're willing to listen, I'll take my time to tell you. Now, if
Right.
you're ignorant, fuck you. Have a nice day.
But I've also seen that a lot of people, like we talked about Soulja Boy back in the 2000s. Soulja Boy got
Soulja
found.
Boy talent.
Soulja Boy got found on
Yo,
MySpace.
that shit was hard.
So then everybody thought they was going to be found on MySpace.
Sean Kingston. That's another one.
Oh, I really did
I ain't
like
never
it. I
liked
like.
Sean
I
Kingston's
did.
face.
I like.
His
Well,
face
no,
bothered me.
I like his music.
It was like a killer.
It was just so like punchable. It was just so lovable face, like a Care Bear.
Soulja Boy face, yeah.
No, that's apples and oranges. Sean Kingston's face looked like a Care Bear.
Ooh,
It do look like a Care Bear.
but you know,
Jolly
so
me.
like,
To the core.
right?
Kind of ate at me down bottom. Right here, down bottom.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But you know what I mean? Like people want that instant, like I call it the microwave generation. Everybody wants that instant gratification. They want that everything to be instant. You know, like we have a studio in the back.
Another one?
We have a studio in the back, and I told somebody the other day, I was like, we have a studio, blah, blah, blah. Well, how much do they charge? I was like, I don't know. I had to go on my phone and find the flyer. I don't know. That's not my part. But I do support them because they're part of our company. So I pulled it up and showed them the prices and everything. I said, but these prices are going to go up next year.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got, things have to be, you know, and you get what you pay for, and they're really a good studio. That's why if you want to pay, you know, your homeboy $10.
See, now he gonna go in there. He gonna be the judge.
Shout out One Shot Recording.
Shameless plug. Waves and sounds.
Oh yeah, you changed the name, right?
Well, it's a whole different company. I mean, I still do my thing, but Waves and Sounds is
Oh,
definitely.
you told me about that.
Yeah.
That's not
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, not to even really put everything out there like that, but what I'm saying is, I'm at a point where when I was doing AE with these guys here, like there's a lot of stuff that I learned. You know, a lot of success and a lot of failures, right?
Right.
But it all added to, you know, who I am as a person, who these guys are. You know, whether they see it or not, whether I see it or not. You know what I mean? But now, when it comes to me recording others, I really focus more on the recording side. Because I realize that people rely on mixing so much, and they're, I mean, I shout out to all the singers out there that can really fucking sing.
Right.
Like,
Right,
really sing.
Yeah.
It sucks because there's a lot of people that try to sing now. They rely on auto-tune and
Yes.
like, you're really insulting those that really went out. So you need the training and all that to know, how to sing and project their voice. Auto tune that. I want to sound like.
See, and this is what I said. That's another thing, a reason why I don't like people that sing along or they rap along with their tracks, especially a singer. Now, if you're going to harmonize, that's cool. But there was a girl, she performed at Baltimore Soundstage one night. It was none of that. It was just her voice. She got off stage. I said, you have a pure voice, because it was like, she didn't crack. She didn't do, it was her whole vocals were like so on point. It was like I was listening to ACD, but I wasn't. And I said, I can go into the studio and I can lay down some singing tracks and the engineer can make me sound like Mariah Carey. Shit. But put me on stage without that, and that's not going to happen. I can't carry a tune in a bucket.
You got a deal, we trying to sign on.
You feel me?
I'll tell you the name.
We gonna sign her. We got a deal on the table. Talk to Q. Talk to Pot. He'll work out the paper.
But she really, it's like, I don't know if she's with somebody or not, but she really can sing. There's a couple girls. There's a girl named A.B. from out in Harford County, and she just released a couple months ago. And her, like, I like her voice too. I'm really, huh?
Do they use Shazam?
I don't know.
That's the key thing. If I hear your music and I don't know it's yours, how can I look for it?
Right, I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know what she's because I didn't go to her. I didn't go to her release party. But like, there's a lot of.
Look at Q. Look how cool he is.
he's such a businessman. He's such a businessman. So I just had a thought. So I'm not sure how familiar you are with what's like the scene in Baltimore now. I don't know if you guys have like the shows, if you know any shows, if you've seen anything.
Yeah.
My perspective is that there's really hardly any venues or any events that are going on. At one time when I first came in, we had Sonar. I love Sonar. I miss Sonar.
That's great.
I miss Sonar. 5 seasons.
5 seasons.
We had Fletcher's down, Fells
Fletcher's.
Point.
That's my first show was at Fletcher's.
We had Bedrock for a time. Bedrock was an awesome place.
Turntable Club.
Yes, that was my
Club.
first show I ever went to. Was at Turntable Club.
Oh, where? Who'd you go see?
It was a benefit for Sonny Brown, January 2008.
I was about to say that sounds familiar.
It was January 2008. Sonny Brown had had all kinds of medical problems, and he needed help with his medical bills. So the community got together and threw like a benefit show, and that was my very first time. Shaka Pitts had a Blog Talk Radio show, and I used to call in. He's an artist named B.O.M.B. is the one who brought me into this music scene. He hit me on MySpace, asked me to listen to his music, and I liked it. You know, I liked his music, so through him, I got into this music scene. So I tell everybody, if you don't like me, go blame him. Go take it to him, because he's the reason why I even know anything about this stuff that's going on. So when I went to the
Shout out to B.O.M.B.
So we were I went to the show, and this is my first time seeing any of these people that have heard me on the radio and everything. So I get there, and when they find out that I'm Lisa from the radio show, they're confused. And I look at them and say, "You thought I was black, didn't you?" They were like, "Yes." I was like,
Lisa.
But that was my very first show that I ever went to. But 5 Seasons was my home. Me and Solomon, that's why I used to do my show in the Spotlight Showcase show. But like I said, back then we had so many different venues to go to and do shows. Now I'm looking around and there's really not that many.
All of them got shut. Like, is Vanity still open?
Vanity, I just got told Vanity Hunt was not renewing the lease with them or something. But
That's that club that you changed.
yeah,
I know stuff be going on at the Depot.
the Depot is the floor where they do the show at is probably as big as this room.
Oh man,
It was that club that Pot took the guy's hat when he had to beat him up.
oh man, the Penguin Club.
Oh, that was at Arbutus.
Yeah,
that was the Igloo. Yeah, Penguins.
No, why did I do
Peace
that?
to Robert.
He was probably drinking a blue drink because we drank the blue drink and everybody wanted to fight that night.
The owner, because we did good that night, so we did good that night. So the owner popped some Andre, a few bottles, or something like that, and was giving us drinks, and
We had a couple tangs.
we had a couple tangs,
Couple snow tings.
and somebody got mad.
Oh yeah, he was hating. That's
He
what
was
he was hating, right? So I walked up to him, I took his hat like this and put it on like this,
And then he plugged Pot. I was like, don't plug Pot. And it was final boom.
She was under the car.
I'm glad I was not there that night.
He plugged the hat right off of Pot. Don't hit Pot.
Oh man.
And I was there for that.
crazy. That was a great night.
Right, like that was. There's always I never been at any shows where any fights actually broke out. I was at one show where it was the first time me being at Five Seasons and thought that something was going on because the artist that was on stage was talking so much shit to the people that was in the crowd, and the crowd was like,
that might have been me. I got
no, it wasn't you. I know exactly who it was.
I was battling somebody and I was drunk. I was battling somebody. I was like, yeah, fuck you. You got 8 Mile?
Nah.
They 8 Mile me, yo. They had to drive me on the stage. No. I was trying to fight security and everything.
But that was like one of the only nights I ever been at Five Seasons, and at that time Solomon had all the speakers piled up on the side of the stage. He had them; they were stacked up, right. And I just turned my back up and was like watching the crowd, take some pictures, and watch the crowd because the dude that was on stage was talking hella shit. Ain't nobody can fuck with me, da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. So then 2 artists later, that motherfucker gets up there, hey, y'all can't fuck with me. I'm like, oh my God, there's gonna be a fight in here tonight because it was all. My thing has always been, like, I never had any instances in my show. Block Hugger never had any instances in his show because the people and the artists respect.
Shout out to Hugger.
Yeah, Hugger. Yeah, I just talked to Hugger. He got some stuff. He got something going on. You all remember where Club Mate?
Shout out to Club Mate.
It's open.
You got a story about me?
See, those are the best ones when you got a story about like every club, right?
Out there.
Remember the time when?
God damn! Shout out to Che. They put Che in the dumpster.
If you touch the ground, your life is over. Don't stomp you out.
Remember next week, Pop tried to get revenge.
Back and following with.
Man, Pop was out of control.
He said no.
I tried to get revenge.
But Club Mate is actually being that's where Hug is doing he's doing something.
Was it Everything Live?
Yeah, he's doing, but it's something different than what he was doing out at Vanity Room. It's gonna be smoking. He's gonna have edibles. He's gonna have all kinds of stuff that's going on in there.
Like so half interested. I've heard weed.
Yes.
My man, I'm a marijuana. His cousin, Guap. And that's my peoples and shit. He was on my not my last mixtape, but the mixtape before that.
Yeah, Guac. Yeah, me and Guac were friends. Like he always gets on me on my face because I'm glad none of y'all on my Facebook page because I be going through some like
One of those people on Facebook.
Man, let me tell you, I say shit like I have to get with my mother sometimes because my mother gets on my post and says some dumb shit. I'm like, Ma, it's not even about me. This has nothing to do with me. Yeah. Like my stalker popped up. I've had a stalker.
Family stay doing that shit.
I have a stalker that has been stalking me since 2004.
That's you got the window open and shit. You got.
No, he live in Virginia. He live in Virginia now. He don't know where I'm at. But he popped up on my other page that I don't even use, supposed to be for family and friends because they don't know the ratchet side of me. But anyway, so he popped up. I go over there to clear out my messages, and and I'm like, he's like, I want to see you. What the hell? Like I haven't talked to you in like 2-3 years. So
that's when you send him the Cash App joint.
Right.
Speaking of that right now.
You give me 5, you get 5 million.
What are you two? What's live?
That's Facebook Live.
We got to do my Cash App.
They out there doing that Cash App shit, yo.
Yo, fuck with me, yo.
Give me 5, I'll give you 5 million.
I cashed out 2 times already, yo. Holla at me, yo. It's about $1.
You probably started this shit.
I brought weight to it, yo. Like you finessed it like how you supposed to finesse it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little break. I'm gonna play a couple songs, and then we're gonna come back and probably hear some more stories about some more clubs because this is very entertaining. This is very entertaining.
You gonna play some awesome?
Yes. You sent me like 20 of them now.
You ain't sending me on there.
Of course.
Oh, what song is it you sent me? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna play that one first.
I got.
Is it hold up? Is it Righteous Anger?
You gotta tell me that. The City.
We went to a party.
Oh, the City.
As soon as you said that shit on the text, you gotta tell me all
I don't
about
see that
it.
when I see is How We Live one of yours or no?
That's how we live.
Yeah, you on that?
Oh, me and Q. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is what I did is I just put them on there how you sent them to me. Mm-hmm. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start from the top and we can just play them as they were listed. And whoever's on there, you all let me know. You know, when we come back, and then we can talk about that. So I'm gonna play some music. Y'all take a listen, and we'll be right back with Snob music. I'm loving that. Like I was like, what kind of name? I was like, I got to find this out, and now I know.
Yeah,
so I'll be right back, y'all.
Really? Him and Bird. This is. Bird killed that shit too, yo. Came from the bottom, now I'm sitting on the top. What we do, yo? Tell them how we live. That's what I'm from the bottom, now I'm sitting on the top. Damn, Brittany, yo. Tell them how we live. Life is but a dream and everything ain't what it seems. Ain't kept to me, you keep up with the hollows in your screen. The same that you love, bringing up the fuzz. The love of relationship, my heart is so drugs. Right here in blood, but my left hand cuz. Ain't nobody green, so I just does what I does. You worry of your wife, man, ain't girl. She rock my mic. So you
just randomly wanted to hang out with people one day?
Nah, I'm going to do it wouldn't be right if
interludes ever.
Yeah, so I was like, I need cheese for him.
I need him for the video.
He was mad skeptical at first because he thought everybody hated it and shit. I mean, and then, probably for a little bit, got drunk with the Alex and everything.
So that number works? That number is his?
Yeah.
I bet.
And we got drunk and stole some candles out the lobby or something. Stole some dumb shit.
Where I'm from, a lot of young niggas is getting cake now.
Yeah, the intro?
Stacks to the club is not the case now. Used to buy the drinks by the dub, I buy the case now.
I got
plug in the driver who worked at Greyhound.
I mean, you can use my shit. My shit is a USB mic.
Oh yeah. Baltimore. Listen, it's an art of war. Drunker than the horse, sweat coming out my pores, but I can't stop here. Gotta keep it on. Roll with
shit, yo. That shit is classic.
Yeah. I put the list in the fucking chat. Nobody except Q said something. I'm not in the chat. Oh yeah, you are in the chat. I'm sorry. We gotta do another.
I told you I don't do interviews where I'm reading from a card.
Oh yeah, that's
You want to have some volume?
Turn me up in the headphones.
That's why I'm like, why you got my stomach, man?
One shot, school, see what one shot do. Have a one shot.
Who's
Life on the rocks.
That's you?
Y'all put champagne on the bitch. They ain't gonna give me that. Hey, put that on there.
See, you ain't say you in there.
She got the internet, yo.
Yes, she got the internet. You got the internet.
Niggas that I came up with, they had to fall back. Niggas scream horn, they show up without the weapon. Fuck that, one way route, you won't come back.
Is that school?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You gotta play champagne on the bitch. That's all I want, yo. Can I get that, guys?
She can play it from SoundCloud. I think you gotta download it. You have to have it on your hard drive to play it.
Yeah, I can probably pull it up on SoundCloud and play it through the.
I think it's on. It's on Volume 1.
It's on Volume 2.
Or it's on Volume 2. Yeah. So like both of them on there. I think this is my all my songs. Snobs never die.
Snobs never perish.
Ever. Forever, ever.
Now, I don't listen to any music that gets sent to me until I play it here on the show.
Okay.
Because I want to give you the first reaction.
About to wild out if you play I mean,
you know what I mean?
Champagne on the bitch.
That right there, that's a throwback.
I love that song.
I like that. I like that song. That's why I said, I was like, that's you?
It's my shit right here. You turn stuff a little bit down? I know you didn't too.
Did you? All right.
It's like one of my favorite songs, so just that cool, you know?
Alright, what's your email?
Yeah, I'm in that line.
Matter of fact, the SoundCloud backslash Snob $7.
When you walk the street, I have the baggies down. Talking about the niggas with business, I'm like X-ray vision. Seeing shit through a different light, so get a glimpse of your world through my bars. Listen life, and that's as close as you're gonna get. I'm trying to reach the top. Free holders wanna live, but ain't put shit. Not a nickel a dime up in the pot. Y'all was playing, so I had the ditty bop. Got it dirty like a city cop. Let the bass knock a couple city blocks. If it knock it out of socks, I bet a city flop. I got a Love Jones, Love Jones. I swear I'm addicted to those bittersweet sounds.
I hope everybody park legally, y'all.
Love girl.
Park legally.
When I came, but that's how it goes down.
And every year we pop champagne and make records. And for the record, it's perfection. And every year we pop champagne and make records. And for the record,
So what song am I supposed to be looking at?
champagne and make records. And for the record, it's perfection. And every year we pop champagne and make records. And for the record, it's perfection.
What you looking, my guy?
I wake up, repeat. Cake up, break geese. Shit, I know your mama taught you better, mine did. I get you no father figure, me too. But like some bitches, so when you get money, get bitches, get a life, get out of mind, get out of line, get a sight game. So yeah, I'm over there, my guy.
No, he punked over by my car.
She a trick, call her Linda. Now that's what I do with her. If you fall the well, get in there. Great nigga, hey, keep a steppin', aka Frank. Roll with a nigga, then roll with a nigga, never seen
So he sent me like an EP.
I said,
I got it pulled up so we can play it. You know.
And for the record, it's perfection. And every year we pop champagne and make records. And for the record, it's
Now this is the first time I've ever seen a city car here. A few weeks back, they had something at the church, and they was parked all up and down over here where they not supposed to be. Hey, you see no damn? She bored. She ain't got nothing to do.
I was gonna park over there.
I know, that's why I was hoping you were seeing me. It was like, you know, like park over that way.
Fuck what y'all say, get hit on the Parkway in broad day. The broad second nigga need to be on Broadway. They see my dick, the bitches say they fuck with me the long way. I'm a dickhead.
I'm gonna have a hard time choosing a song to go on the mixtape. I can already see it. I can already see it.
Problem with these jealous women. Check this out, put on my jeans, baby, look at you.
She gonna say,
This shit, I'm number 2 with the stomach flu. I got the bubble guts, honey, call the plumber up. He get the plunger and the paper keep on coming up. The pretty women keep fitting on him.
she already gave you a ticket. She done.
I already did it. Oh, Hopper got a ticket? Hopper gonna block her.
And every year we pop champagne and make records. And for the record, it's perfection. And every year we pop champagne and make records.
Where you park at?
And for the record, it's perfection. And every year we pop champagne and make records.
I don't even know if I can park over there.
Yeah, you can. That's where I'm parked at. Yeah, he's parked over there.
I parked over my baby mom.
Yeah, I'm in that line.
Damn.
What, it's a lack over there?
I'm not even gonna talk about that shit right
You gotta let the bass knock on it.
Waiting to get hot, I'm going all in, fuck waiting for the flop. Cause I got the right flow and hustle, cause I like those with the damn way to cut you off like lipo. My bottom bitch, she can ride on sight, like the Mario game, she can slide down my pipe.
That's why I told them, all the time, we've been here since September. I've never seen the city come
Because that they out here right now looking only for people parking at the bus stop.
Damn, yo, that's all she did is right there. Yo, that's dirty.
Big greatness, hope for the photo. Swear to God, not a fucking word to the popo. Swear niggas up, yeah, niggas gon' rain, and I'm still by the dollar, not a damn thing change. If your chick wanna holler, then we pour champagne on the bitch. Pour champagne on the bitch. Yeah, I'm from the gutter, what? Niggas should be making how you running in your underwear. Yeah, niggas hustle head, whole lot of other head. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. There's a lot of I'm running here. If it ain't about money, brother, I don't fucking care. Baby, I'm a buccaneer, rendezvous. You can have your corner back right when I'm done with it. Niggas take they hard body till I fucking slug hit it. I'm DiBiase, $1 million choco, make a million. Niggas in they feelings, I just gotta pick a mind if they think I'm not appealing. I'm a house nigga, I'm in the building. Pulling off the ego, yeah, I get my polio. Ain't talking pizza, when I say a Papa Joe, niggas ain't eating. Gotta be Ramadan, I eat a stomach cake while I stuff my fucking face, nigga. You want that hot shit, got it on the low low. Ain't eating nigga, middle finger, it's a logo. Split big greatness, pose for the photo. Swear to God, not a fucking word to the popo. Swear niggas up, yeah, niggas gon' rain, and I'm still by the dollar, not a damn thing change. If your chick wanna holler, then we pour champagne on the bitch. Pour champagne on the bitch.
Pass out, lights out, talk when the gun's out. Slow creep, dark G, blast in your life shot. Came here with guns, man.
Don't know this
knives out. Ain't safe at the lighthouse. Me, man, suede suit, troops on demand. Gun jam, old school, get gun buddy. Your life's on the shelf, it ain't nothing for the duster. Mr. Clean, all green, came in the flag. Whites for the Naja, blood of a ruler. Skin is opaque, nah, you ain't seen through this. Shell drop, one shot, you drop. All of you are black rings, line up to get y'all. Some say I'm insane, I say I'm in game. Only call times if they can't get the whack brain. Top and 10 deep, belt buckle holster. You only talk more till you get a little closer.
You want that hot shit, got it on the low low. Ain't eating nigga, middle finger, it's a logo. Split big greatness, pose for the photo. Swear to God, not a fucking word to the popo. Swear niggas up, yeah, niggas gon' rain, and I'm still by the dollar, not a damn. Wanna holler, then we pour champagne on the bitch. Pour champagne on the bitch.
Oh,
man.
It's your, would you like play it again? No. It's your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. It's the Spotlight Hard Body Radio. Yo, I'm gonna tell you what. Where are you all like originally from?
Jersey.
Okay. I'm from,
brown.
I was born in South Carolina. I moved up here when I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I lived in like Orange Mills.
Oh, okay.
Like that, yeah.
Over West.
Over
West.
Okay,
Over
and you?
West.
I'm from Jersey.
What
I've
part?
been here for like 15 years.
But what part of Jersey?
No, like Essex County, Oranges.
Okay, yeah, I know what I said. I used to live in Longport, right, and worked in Summers Point down, but my homegirl was from up in Orange. You say you from Jersey? What part of Jersey?
The beach.
Okay.
The beach.
The beach.
I'm from Jersey, like North Jersey, like Montclair, Patterson.
Okay.
Orange. I was one of those kids who walked
You,
around.
Glen Burnie? You good. You say Glen Burnie. The reason that I asked that is because I wanted to see where the influence was, because all that reminds me of Wu-Tang. That gives me that Wu-Tang feel. It gives me that New York feel. Like,
shout out to Capadonna.
You know?
Man.
You know? So that's why I was like, I'm sitting here because I love Wu-Tang too. Of course, like, who doesn't?
Mm-hmm. So our music has a lot of different sounds. It really depends on the producer who's working on the track. So if it's me, I got that real heavy drum bass type sample heavy.
Yeah.
That's how I got in the game. Like, I started DJing at age 9. So all I know is like records and shit.
Right.
So when I make beats, I just use records and samples and drums, and I keep it real simple and give the rapper a lot of room to do stuff on the beat.
Right. That's why, like, I was like, I'm sitting here going, I'm sitting here going, I'm gonna have a hard time picking one song for this mixtape. Like, y'all don't know. Like, I was sitting here getting ready to hit follow, but I knew I was going to sign into my SoundCloud account. I was going to fuck everything up. Because like you know.
Oh, go ahead and follow that SoundCloud, SoundCloud.com/Snobs Never Die.
There you go.
Or you can just go to snobsneverdie.com.
Or you
can just Google the shit. I'm sure it's gonna pop up. So that's what I did. I just Googled it and it popped up. But you know, so you asked me earlier about what I thought about the music nowadays. So now I'm gonna flip it back and ask you guys, what do you think about the songs that are being played? I mean, we talked a little bit about it, how you said about Migos. I'm personally, I couldn't tell you a Migos song. I'm sorry.
You know better.
I hate that song. But like,
I like 2/3 of it.
It's a lot of good music.
I'm right now. I'm waiting for Kevin Gates to come home.
He back in?
He said, "Yeah,
he'll be home." Like I just posted his possible parole date is January 10th.
You know, let me say something. The music, I'm not just all hip hop. Like I listen to a lot of different shit.
Yeah,
I mean, like I'm really just trying to diversify my ears to just good music.
Okay, Mama, ask you. Okay, you now are you an engineer? Mm-hmm. Okay, before you were an engineer, do you think that you would be that diverse as far as listening? Now, me personally, I grew up with a lot of different music, so I am diverse in that point. But do you think that you would have been?
I keep 100. Like my favorite groups when I was growing up was Lost Boys.
Yo, you love
that. Right. Ace of Base and Lost Boys, and that was the two that I like. Ace of Base. I really see. The thing is, I'm gonna just keep it funky with you. Like I am who I am. Right. Like I'm not really trying to join a lane or say whatever the fuck I feel like doing on that given day, whatever mood I wake up with. That's just who I am.
Right.
Right. And I'd say before I got into engineering, I wasn't as diversified. I only named one non-rap group, Ace of Base. Right. So once I started really recording, I mean, I've recorded alternative groups, I've recorded rock groups, I did a lot of shit, and and shout outs to fucking Drew Mazurek and Jamie. They, like once you just in it and you just like hearing good music, you really don't give a fuck what the genre is. Right. You know, you just want it to be a good track that comes out. That's
right. I fuck with other groups growing up though. I like Rage Against the Machine, and my mother, she was like set on making me like listen to classical music, so I fuck with the Beethoven type shits and all that.
Yeah, Mozart,
jazz, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really fuck with, like, growing up. Actually, I fuck with R&B more, and I really started fucking with like hip hop after. What the fuck did I hear? All right, I heard Supersonic. I probably heard one of my joints. It was.
Yo, man, you guys had that crazy run, yo.
The crazy run.
Rough Riders.
Yeah, that really.
Yeah,
right. Rough Riders.
Yeah. Def Jam. The whole fucking. They had Onyx.
They had a good run.
We had Onyx at the Frozen Harbor.
They had Rough Riders.
We had Onyx at the Frozen Harbor Festival last year. Onyx was, and I had people asking me because like I cover Baltimore Soundstage at Frozen Harbor Tour. Do y'all know what Frozen Harbor is? Probably not. Okay, Frozen Harbor Tour is a festival that lasts for 2 days. It's down Marketplace power plant. There's hundreds of bands, artists from like 9-10 different venues, from the Soundstage to Ram's Head. It's like a diversity. And Onyx was performing at Soundstage. So everybody's like, I mean, how many hits do they have? Like, they only got that one hit. I was like, where the fuck have you been?
No.
Like, let me tell you, they gave a hell of a performance. Like, I was, because, you know, I'm front row, so I'm taking pictures, and I was just like, because I love Fred Joe Star anyway. I'm sorry.
Fred Joe Star.
I was about to say Moesha, man.
Yes, that's like, you know,
big man.
But like, they gave a hell of a performance, you know, and I like, you know, so this year I don't know who they had, because we had Onyx. Onyx was over at Soundstage, and Drew Hill was over at Ram's Head. So the crowd was kind of like, they tried to split it up so like people could be able to go to both of the headliners. I don't know, like it was crazy. But like that music is like, when you hear like Slam, you automatically go back.
Dun, dun,
and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this.
I feel that shit.
Right. So, you know.
I actually like sidebar. I don't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. You're the guest. I'm just here.
I actually like the music now.
Me too.
I think this music, they kind of focus on mood more than lyrics.
And how things are said.
Yeah, Travis Scott is one of my favorite artists, and it's not. I can't even quote his lyrics. I can't even. I have no idea half the time what he said.
But how he says it though.
How he, because he, you know, he does his own production. Just how he puts it all together. It's like vibe music. I hate the word vibes, but you know, a lot of music they make now is for certain, you know, spaces. And, I like it better than the late 2000s. Like the early 2000s,
right.
The late 2000s, like the long jerseys and super baggy pants.
Yeah, it was getting out of control.
That shit was just terrible. So,
people was doing action.
Obviously, you know, we want things to be more lyrical, but it's kind of hard to be lyrical and try to create a vibe at the same time. You know, 2 Chainz does a good job doing it.
Yeah.
Jay-Z obviously does a good job doing it. But outside of that, it's really, really hard to do that, to be commercial and make a hit record and still have some premium.
And I think that's where
Drake, I'm totally agreeing with that. Now,
Drake is a vibe.
Drake is fantastic.
So plug away. That's why I'm here.
Lifestyle. I really feel like they have brought the new school sound with the old school lyrics. And that's why I support them 100%. There's good music out there.
And who is that?
That's what shout out to them.
I mean, I brought some of their tracks and everything with me. But the main thing is, I feel like it all depends on why you're doing music.
Right.
It depends on what you put out. All right. Like nowadays, some motherfuckers like just wake up. Like I've seen people come to the studio like, I just started writing like last week. I'm like, damn, like that's it. And this wasn't really a drive. You just saw everybody trying to get money off it, and it's a house in the pot. So then that's actually what's gonna come out.
Right.
What's from your heart, right? And if it's not like sincere content, like, yo, I really had to get this off my chest, then it's gonna be, I'm just making just like everybody else is making. What does that sound like? Then you start seeing people using the same slang as that guy and doing the same type of fucking ad-libs as that guy. You're like, you just that guy? Or?
I was at a show, this is no lie, and I was at a show. I never leave the front of the stage. And I photograph, this is what sets me apart from everybody else who takes pictures. I'm at the show, I take photos of the first artist to the last artist. Now, if I don't like the artist that's on stage, I still take pictures of them, just might not be as many. So I was at a show, out at Vanity Room. Young kids get up there. My pet peeve is having 20 motherfuckers up on stage. I'm looking at the drunk ass over here who's trying to rap the lyrics but don't know the words, who's about ready to fall off the stage. So I'm not paying attention to the artist that's actually performing. I get like, I get over here. So all these kids up on stage. I call them kids, but they was like maybe 18, 19, maybe 20. They're all on stage. They rap. Okay. They go off stage. Somebody else gets on stage. Then the same kids that was just on stage get back up there with a different lead, but the music sounds the same, like the same word. It just sounds like I just heard all that. And see, and I'm a person that likes mood music. That's why I like Kevin Gates so much, is because a lot of his songs I can relate to. I can't relate to the lean and all that, but the relationship stuff and that. I can relate to that. It took me a while. My kids try to shove Kevin Gates down my throat every chance they got.
You know Kanye West and Kid Cudi? I really love them. And I'm going to say they really put their heart into their music. There's a lot of shit that I'd be like, I wish I would want to say this, but nah, that's just way too personal. They're
right.
And that's what Travis Scott is like evil Kid.
And see, and I've heard,
but you see, Kid, that's why I think the root of it is Kid Cudi.
Like evil.
And I've heard, and I don't think I've heard of Travis Scott, but I've heard of him, and I've heard people say good things about him. I pay attention to like names and stuff. I got Sci High to Prince. I got
He's good lyrically.
I got all these albums on my phone that I need to listen to because my ex hits me up and be like, yo, Lisa, can you get me this? And I get like, I got T-Pain's I was just listening to T-Pain's Coming Here because I haven't listened to it yet.
T-Pain,
you know, and you know, I haven't even got to listen to Jada and Fabulous yet. Like, I've got Eminem's. I've done heard
Fab on every song.
But I like.
And out of everything, Birds in the Trap is the best project.
Yeah.
On the low,
like, you won't be able to turn it off. Like, you'll want to turn it off, but then as soon as the next song comes on, you're like,
I'd rather be in every time I hear one from them, I'm like, oh, this is from the album? Like, oh,
shit. So I got all this music that I need to listen. I don't own a stereo at my house. I don't have none of that shit in my house. Like I don't listen to the radio. Like Squirrel Y told me we was at Royce the 5'9" show way back in the Sonar days, and he every time he sees me when he's on stage, he always yo Baltimore Paparazzi. Well, he looked dead in my face and didn't say shit. So we're in the parking lot, and he was like, "Hey, Lisa," I was like, "No, you didn't say nothing to me out on it." He was like, "But I be shouting you out on the radio." I was like, "I don't listen to 92Q. I'm sorry, I don't listen to it." And I was working for 92Q this summer, but I'm just saying, like, I don't listen to the radio, and if I do, I'm listening to the oldies, what I call the oldies. Like I listen to 95.9, 96.3, sometimes 93.9 if they're playing something. I'll listen to 92Q like during the traffic, you know.
Shout out to my man DJ Flo.
You know, so I don't listen to the radio, but I hear like my kids, my son. He doesn't know what headphones are. He's getting ready. He'll be 20 next month. He don't know what headphones are.
Oh, one of them.
Yeah, right. He's in that element. Like he'll listen to the underground artists that I listen to, but for the most part, he listens to what's playing now. Right. So I'll be like, who the hell is that?
There's a lot of bad stuff, you know, with the drug culture right now. A lot of the drug user stuff, like the Little Pump and. You know, people dying of dreads and XX
whatever his he's something else.
They're scared to just be themselves, bro.
That's like
everybody did drugs. Drugs never stopped. I don't even understand why it's like, yo,
I'm sorry.
They bringing dope back. Like they just like a heroin. It's a throwback shit. I'm get back on that.
Yeah, they said they just busted matter of fact around the corner because I get my hair cut at fucking at Faded. So they said around the corner somebody got caught with 14 pounds of fentanyl and something else.
Oh, that was just down. That was on Charles Street. That was the corner. That was the corner store.
Yeah, right across the street.
The corner store had like hazmat suits.
Yeah, they said they had the whole shit locked off.
Hazmat suits and everything.
Come to the studio with Lean, bro. I'd be like, that shit just looks disgusting, bro. Like, I mean,
that shit's still better than somebody on the smack. Somebody like, hold up, Q. Let me do my ad-libs and shit.
You know, I mean, like at one point, like you said, drugs has always been in the culture of music, not just hip hop. It's always been in everything. Yeah. Jazz, there was jazz. It was in jazz and rock and roll. I mean, look at Rolling Stones. Like, I'm surprised they're still alive.
Just the good thing about the older music is they use the drugs to enhance what they want to say.
It was
right, and I'm like,
it was like nuance, like metaphors.
Right. See, I love metaphors. That's one of my favorite things. Exactly. J. Cole. I remember like
J. Cole.
Whoa, that's the homie.
That's the homie.
I mean, he's boring. He's a boring.
I mean,
but like,
shout out to homie.
But like,
shout out to J. Cole.
I was listening to one of his songs like early on, and like I was listening, and I heard he said this, and then I sat back and was like, oh shit, but he meant this, and I got excited. Like I said, I
love ugly shit, man.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's why I say I like music that tells,
you can go back to.
Right, and like that's just always been me. Now, like I said, I'm not discrediting this younger generation. Because, like I said, it's a different form of hip hop. It is what their view on hip hop or whatever, and that's cool. I can't listen.
It's it. Like I said earlier, like when we was talking about experiences in touring, it's the experience. You know, like, and that's kind of why I like Travis Scott. I seen the live show on YouTube and I felt the energy. Like he's just jumping around crazy, and that's what these young kids are doing. They want to go to them shows. They don't even care about what they're saying. They just want to have fun with the others.
It's like what I call we have an artist, his name's Spence, and he's the turn up king because that's his music. It's the turn up music. And when he was performing at my shows, I caught myself bouncing up and down because the music was, it was like that. I always attribute that to the beat. So like the producer to me who made that beat was like really on point.
You look at Bobby Shmurda and shit. Like Bobby Shmurda, shout out to him. Hoping the best and shit, but he wasn't the most lyrical guy in the world.
Right, but he had he
had energy.
Right,
he had crazy energy. To the same beat pattern though.
Yeah, and he had crazy energy.
And he knew what to say, and he got a little catchphrase.
Right, and I think that's everything now is dumb, like basically dumbed down because the hooks are just catchy little hooks, and they got catchy little phrases in there, and everybody gets like. Like Bodak Yellow, I can't stand it. I can't stand that song.
You like whole time out.
I can't. But no, I can't. I think
you're like what?
But that song, but everybody just fell in love with that song, and it put her at the top of the charts. It got her, the fame. And that's cool. It's just not something that I personally like. I don't like. Where was we? I was at somewhere and the song started playing. I was like, I really do not.
That was.
She had some.
That live.
I guess I guess I just like.
You like Game of Thrones though?
No, I don't watch that either.
What? Wow. Wow.
I don't have cable. What are you talking about? I have cable on
You don't need cable.
Yeah, all you need is a friend.
I got a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
It took me until the last season of Power, and the only reason why I watched that was because I was driving back from Houston in New Orleans and binge watched everything. You know what I mean? So I'm not one of those people that jumps on anything. I still haven't watched The Orange Is the New Black. There's a lot of these shows I've not, and that's just like music. Like everybody is like, oh yeah, this, and this, and I'm like, I'll just wait for it to die down.
You got to. I mean, I didn't watch TV like that too. My wife and I, man, we took like literally 4 days and watched all the Power. We watched Ozarks. We watched
Ozarks. Shows boring.
I mean, like,
they were boring as shit.
But you gotta.
I ain't even finished.
I feel like this. When it comes to anything that's being presented to you, whether it's audio or visual, right? First, I'm just like the way he put stuff together. But then when he actually wrote the book, I realized he is really an artist at heart. You know what I'm saying? How his wordplay was, and even how his diction and voice inflection was when he was like reading the book back. When you checked it up on YouTube, and I feel like that's kind of what's missing now. Like, even when I go to church. I only go to church where the preacher can get my damn attention.
Right.
Other than that, I don't care what you're saying. You can't get my attention, then you lost.
You gotta try it out,
Yeah.
If you go to a restaurant, if you like, you know what, you want, in another city, I want some Italian and shit. You don't go on Yelp and see the reviews for restaurants.
Right.
And you're gonna go after, what got the most stars. So if somebody has a lot of stars on the show or music, you gotta try it out.
At least listen to.
You ain't got no bars, y'all.
You ain't got no bars.
You don't got no bars.
POV all over.
Yeah, I see you at the top of half of every year.
That's why all the events be at my house. She won't let me out.
It's my own party.
Yeah, come through, yeah.
We got a whole, like, usually I only end up playing a couple songs, but like I really just want to hear some more music.
Keep playing. You party anyway. We keep talking about you feel me?
I know that's because I'm sitting sideways. I'm sitting like this because
he's gonna get you.
I know.
Yo, I promise you.
What, this way?
Well, no. I'm talking turn the physical mic.
This?
Yeah. Well, is that the front of the die?
I have no idea. Look.
Either way, it got to be the grill facing your lips. That's all.
Okay. All right. I don't look. Hey, I got OCD. I already know about OCD, but
really getting scamming. Just scamming his ass up.
I told you it's not an interview week. This is a conversation.
Since you're saying a lot of it is not what you like, what is it that you've heard? It doesn't have to be hip hop. What artists across the spectrum do you like?
Do I like? I don't really know who's out there anymore because I really haven't been paying attention. Like I said, I'm more so stuck on I haven't really been doing anything. I had surgery on my shoulder last October, which it put me out of work. It put me basically out of shows because I was going to a few shows, but trying to hold the camera up when I had a rotator cuff and torn bicep and tendons all pulled off and all kinds of damage in there. It I'm his manager. Just because I do beats and stuff does not mean I'm your manager. But
you can take the roll though. Get some bread off. Why not?
I have this problem that if I'm your manager and I tell you what's kind of going on as far as music wise in the industry part. So like I said, I haven't even been able to listen. I just started listening to T-Pain, and one of the songs I was like, yo, this sounds like it's from a Medea play or something. It just had that play kind of vibe to it, like instrumental. Somebody took the CD player out. Like the buttons and all are still there, but the CD player itself is not in there.
You're not the one that had the door ripped off the car, are you?
No.
Okay. Somebody had the whole door ripped off their car. I said, damn, that's crazy. Then take someone else.
Oh, down at Patterson Park when they took the doors off. Somebody needed.
But the thing is, like, there's a cop that goes up and down like that on what is it, Eastern or Baltimore or something like that.
Yeah,
he goes up and down that shit all the time. Like he had to see something.
Whoever it was knew how to cut the alarm. Knew how to cut the alarm, and they busted out the bus. They cut the alarm, busted out the window. They did all kinds of stuff. Like they knew what they were doing.
You should be happy though, because when I was in Rhode Island,
they
just had a whole ass key. All your cars.
See, no, that's okay. But like I really don't know any artists. Like I said, it took me a long while to deal, to get with Kevin Gates. Like I actually had to go look. I'm one of those people. I like ratchet ass music. My favorite.
Hey, you don't like Bodak Yellow?
No, I'm talking. I like AMG. Bitch, better have my money. That's the one most demeaning songs to a woman ever. But that's one of my favorite songs. Like I keep that song either on my phone or my hard drive, no matter what. I've had hard drives crash, and I went and downloaded that song again.
Emergency
But I like music like that. So, but I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know any of the artists that are coming up. I hear from my son or my daughter plays music or whatever. my friend, he started me listening to the Kid Black. It's 6. Yeah.
6 9.
Because the song Problems.
Yeah, it's my shit.
He said that was me.
That shit had a slow bar.
He said that was me. Like those lyrics reminded him because I had told him I hated him. So
damn.
So he said that. So I listen. You know, somebody tell me to listen to somebody, then I'll give it a listen. But as far as just like listen to the radio, like I hear something, I'll be like, no, I'm not listening to that today. No.
Produced by Colston. He's not here, unfortunately. He's up in New York.
Definitely shout out to Coast.
Fucking around. It's got me, Freyo. It's got my man Q. It's got Veronica. She can't be here either. She's too busy being Puerto Rican somewhere.
I hope she sees this.
She gonna call you outside.
Yeah, you don't mess with don't.
Can't be me anyway.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's on part of the Snobs. What was it? The Snobs 2.
Volume 2.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that's on there.
well, we're gonna listen to that.
It's a jam.
It's a jam.
Oh, all of them been jams for me, to be honest. So yeah, because
it's a whole different sound. It's the Colston vibe right here.
Yeah,
we switched it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
With Snob music.
You got to look at me, my guy.
What's the bathroom?
Go through both doors. Go through both these doors right here. Yeah, go through both these doors.
Yeah, I did it. Planned out my life and executed the mission. The cause that won't always be in your favor. But you can choose which hand you want to play first. The life you live ain't nothing more than a moment. Play out today, tomorrow you want to own it.
Definitely a different vibe.
Both vibes.
Tomorrow you wanna own it. Crunching up cigarette butts up in ashtrays. Thinking of the lunar, sidewalks and sewage. Who's next to screw you? Out of a couple of bucks, I keep the camera close for extra footage. Game like a cartridge, blew it off. Niggas losing cartilage in the field, they're falling off. Success, the others ready to bake it. Used to be a joke, but pocket changed the blow. Now I'm sitting in the law for swing suits and notes. Women in the past will find ways to show. I'm looking to the future, daydreams afloat. Can't blame me, baby, I'm a dreamer. Plotting on another way to get my cream up. I feel like it's funny in the cleaners. Dreaming that it's me riding in the beamers. Take a picture when you see us. In the VIP, chillin' with our feet up. That was back at work trying to set my cheese up. Can't be
Yeah, like that's on purpose.
I used to sit in class and watch minutes pass. Prior why I didn't pass with my ignorant ass. Never liked sucking up and kissing ass. Prior why I didn't pass with my ignorant ass. Mom, but she see the beauty. Never seen me cleaning floors, never seen me pumping gas. Think about the cream. It's like it's sweeter when you're living out your dreams. Can't blame me, baby, I'm a dreamer. Plotting on another way to get my cream up. I feel like Gates Boogie in the cleaners. Dreaming that it's can't blame me, baby, I'm a dreamer.
Daydream in my own mind. Yeah.
Yo, you ain't got started an hour though, Pop.
I think I said that.
First of all, can you cut straight to like the last
Righteous Anger.
You got
Survival Mode.
Alright.
I just closed the SoundCloud.
They go to Snob cover for everything and shit.
Hold it back. Hold it back.
Y'all gotta watch y'all.
Yeah, I like your last one here too.
Play that after the other joint though.
Righteous Anger is my shit.
Righteous Anger. I was like,
I want you to have some more.
Yeah, I was like, oh, alright.
I ain't like that shit.
You ain't like what?
Yo, Snob it over.
They occupy.
I don't know
Don't tase me, bro. Huh?
Snob.
My verbal violence so pure, shit so pure. That's cause I know I'm the right. Honestly, ain't go that righteous anger. Right. That's cause I know.
Hold it back.
I'm wanted by the man. I'm wanted by the man. I ain't a bitch, but I don't think I understand it. Try to fuck. That's faggot shit. No homo. PLO style, no promo. Realize, recognize. The lips sink ships when they hard. Even though it's art, had a rat in the bed. And a mimic is life's rare. Life's ills. Auntie died from cancer, can't pay my life bills. So I happily replace the hate in my heart with empathy. I'm like, yo, that shit's so pure. That's cause I know that I'm right. Honestly, ain't go that righteous ain't right. That's cause I know. Temporary relief, nobody profits off. We get cured before the shit hypocrite smell like manure. As I go get my glass, they kill treat get poured. Stuck off the hallucinogens on Southie and Devonia. Yeah, I'm blurry visions in the side of my cornea when I get real mad. Don't know one, none of you fuck niggas hear me. Just trying to provide the sound and the theory. Another conundrum. Sick on all the loud moments and heart so pure. This shit so pure. That's cause I know I'm right. Honestly, ain't go that righteous ain't right. That's cause I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Epic poem. You're already in. Be more the games, more foes, less friends, more kush, less hands. When a nigga out of the line, I'll tap him on his chin. And he can be just a nigga next to kin. Blood of a slave, but I got a king's heart. So I'm Moses with the weed and Leonardo with my art. Never seen my texture, cut from a different cloth. Gotta take it to the dry clean, no machine wash. Flow, me, I'm all about the dough. Righteous and right. That's cause I know I'm right. I know I'm right.
All right, in the spotlight, Baltimore Paparazzi on Hard Body Radio. We need a catchphrase for Hard Body Radio. I was thinking about that the other day. You know, that little catchphrase. Right. I don't know who that is. So, yeah. I told you I'm gonna have a hard time trying to pick just one song. I'm telling you.
Side B.
I know, but that's a good thing.
You ain't hear our weird shit yet.
Yeah.
What do you classify weird?
You talk about what, like John Snob's Van Dam? Best of the House is my shit.
Ain't hear ill yet.
Good night. I was gonna sing Good Night. I should have sang Good Night.
But you know what? It probably would be something that I would like, because I just, like I said, I am just one of those people that. If he thought that he would be, more diverse, he should be able just to go straight through.
I feel like
But oh, that might be somebody. That's outside. That's somebody coming probably for the studio. But I think that's one reason why I like Tech Nine, because when Tech Nine, the rock and roll, and rapping over it and everything else. So that's why I said, well, what do you classify as weird? Because I like some weird shit according to some people.
You can play it a little bit.
That's
it don't matter. It's gonna get real weird. You have no idea. You think you know what it's about to sound like.
You think you know, but you don't really know.
Especially Coast. You be like, where the hell are you going?
What?
Yeah, that nigga's
We used to have to give Coast his own verse sometimes. Like,
just play the beat.
Yeah, 16 bars.
Get the solo. Yeah.
So because you all are like all from different places and whatever, how did you all connect together?
Morgan State,
Morgan fucking State.
I should have known.
Morgan State.
Yeah. Wait a minute, hold up. He was like, wait a minute, hold up. Yeah. So you all
like
our little stints there.
Yeah, like I knew him from like fucking internet tournaments and battles and shit like that. He said he was coming to Morgan State. He knew Pot.
Me and him,
it's a lot of
we know each other from
way back.
Okay.
We both from the same part of Jersey.
Right.
So, like,
I got a funny story how I met Pot too, if you want to hear.
Sure. Man. We like all. I was asking because you all are from all different areas and all different parts of like states or whatever. How did you all collectively come together? And they said Morgan State.
Yeah.
Well,
I got to tell my story.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you a joke.
It was roommates, right?
Yeah. So me and him was the first roommate or whatever. I swear to God, this man went off to his corner, and he was banging away on something. And I was like, well, what the fuck is he doing? And it's funny because I had pulled my seat up to my desk, and I was about to write some lyrics. He started making the beat. And it was just funny. Then he showed me a track that he made, Quiet Boy or something.
That was about his brother.
And that's why the story was.
And then he was banging on the ASL. I was like, man, like he's making beats. I'm over here writing. And then Frio was down the hall and shit. Like I literally, I made a track. Like, I want to go record. And like, oh, you got to go see Frio. He's on the first floor and shit. And I was like, okay. And that's kind of how I met you.
He was like, murder land,
I came to the fold late.
I was gonna say
for those days.
Right.
Honestly, I used to come there and try some weed, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody got a story.
So Pot and my stepbrother, crazy ass stepbrother, went to school together, and I ain't know Pot, but I heard a DJ Jackpot. So one day, my crazy ass stepbrother comes all the way to my house and says, "Yo, I need to make a whole diss album against this one person."
Oh damn! Not a song, but a whole album.
He had pictures of him, and pictures of shit that looked like him, and he cut it out and he taped it all together to make a CD cover.
I was so mad.
And all that.
That was way before Photoshop. That was the first original Photoshop.
And he wasn't a rapper, so he asked me to write all this shit. So he's at my house. This is the only time he ever spent the night in my house. So he spent the night in my house. So for 2 days, we just made a whole diss album against DJ Jackpot.
Called Civil War.
Wow.
So fast forward about 2 years, I just happened to be going to Morgan, and one of my stepbrother's friends, Ice, he know Ice too. They went to school together. I met Ice before I came down to Morgan. I see Ice, and Ice is like, "Yeah, it's my man Jackpot." I'm like, wait.
Hold up.
DJ Jackpot. I was like, yo, I'm so and so brother. Like, like, you remember the Civil War? He's like, yo.
He's like, I wrote that.
And he was like, yo, you ain't hear the rebuttal? I was like, nah. He showed me the rebuttal, and ever since then, we've been clicking. Like,
yeah. I'm not a rapper, but I made a diss tape. I had to respond, yo.
Right. That was
like getting the
But that was what you did. Like, that's what you did then, But that's crazy, like how
you have to cut up that many different pictures.
It's crazy.
I'm sitting in the chair like that.
I was like, damn, he ugly as hell.
But you know, I always say that everything good, bad, and indifferent happens for a reason. You know what I mean? That, you know, that's why when like people say, "Oh, if you could go back and change something in your life," I said, if I change one aspect of my life, my whole life is going to change.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not going to change not one thing. I'm not going to change my abusive baby father. I'm not going to change, you know, any kind of conflict I had with anybody. I'm not going to change anything negative because of that, I am who I am today. So, like, it's really kind of like serendipity, more or less. You all were roommates, and you wrote lyrics, and you made beats, and from that, all this has transpired. Yeah. You know what I mean? What if you had a different roommate?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, not to say that you all wouldn't have crossed paths.
I was supposed to be roommates with Fresh. Yeah, I was supposed to be roommates with Mom.
When you thinking about going to Eastern Shore? Yeah, man. Yeah, he's gonna go to Eastern Shore. I was like, nah, you don't want that.
What if the old white guy in the basement of Polar Street stayed there?
What if? We would have no music.
Yeah, that would have been.
You know what I mean? Like I think about stuff like that. You know what? You know.
Jars of mayo. He would just walk through. You know, we'd all be chilling. Bob would just walk through with a towel.
Those out shit.
You honestly forget he was there. Y'all be chilling like.
I seen that shit.
That's crazy.
That's just Bob.
That is crazy. That's just Bob.
Like, where the fuck he been at? That face like if everything's good. I didn't live down there like that.
It's Bob.
I told you, y'all have stories like, and a lot of times like you're telling the story, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you remember, like you all have all these stories together, you know what I mean, and all this music together. Like how many projects do you all have? I mean, between now, I want to ask you one thing. What is your take on like mixtapes, like doing industry beats?
I think
like 50. I don't like 50 did it.
Yeah, I don't really like. I don't think whole mixtapes like that. I wouldn't listen to them. Like if he did some one-offs, like to keep your name buzzing or something like that.
Every now and then,
yeah,
something like that.
I feel like make a record and let people hear that one record, because if you make a whole ass mixtape, what you're gonna do is no one's checking for it. You put all your budget into that shit. Now you don't have much to follow up.
And you can't
right now fast food.
Legally you can't sell it.
Exactly. So,
were you talking about rappers or like
rapping on other beats?
Yeah,
shit like that.
I mean, like you said, when 50 started it was basically to kill basically kill the beat, and that's what like.
But Funk Flex on we doing that for a minute. I mean,
right.
It was cool back then.
You know,
but 50 started doing the whole mixtape,
right?
Yeah. Like himself as yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like now, like I don't want to like nowadays. People are doing mixtapes with original beats because there are more people who have access to production and stuff.
Right.
So
original content.
Exactly. And then like albums, like the only reason they aren't albums maybe is because they might have a sample or something in that.
Right.
So they have to say a mixtape.
50 did it a little bit different too.
He made his own songs.
Yeah, he made it so it's almost like a parody, even though it wasn't a parody.
Well, I mean, when he did the Ja Rule, of course.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was like different. Like it was. You can't do that again.
What I've noticed with the artists is when they first like kind of start out, they're doing these industry beats. I got tired of hearing Panda. Don't even like this. Panda. Everybody did a Panda remix and this, that, and the third. But I've seen these artists and they constantly doing these mixtapes. Can you do original beats, please? Like you're not able. My thought process is this: you're supposed to be in this to try to make some kind of money. Isn't that why you rap? I mean,
unless you're doing it with the intent to do it better than the original. Like Controller, when it was done by Tory Lanez. Oh my God, I never listened to the original Drake version of the game.
I was in the I was handed a mixtape by B.O.M.B here in Baltimore. B.O.M.B. I watched this man stand on stage for 16 minutes and freestyle the whole time. We had to stop him because he was going to continue. His DJ gave me a copy of his mixtape Beast Mode. That thing stayed in my car. I listened to it over and over and over and over, and I had like one or two that were my favorite songs. I was in the club. I was in 5 Seasons one night, and I hear this beat. I'm like, oh, they're getting ready to play Verb. It was a Meek Mill song. I didn't even know that it was Meek Mill's because I didn't hear it. But all I can hear is Verb's verse. You know, his verses on the song. And what 50 did, like I said, what 50 did was he made that beat and he did it his way. That way you didn't even think about the original. And that's why I say if you're going to take a beat, when a beat comes out, if you're an artist, you're going to take a beat and you're going to redo it, please do it in your own style and please make it your own. I don't want to hear, if you're going to take a 2 Chainz beat and you sound just like 2 Chainz.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
You know, you have to make it your own. But me personally, the mixtapes get on my nerves because you're wasting your bars and you're wasting your time. On beats that you can't sell.
You can find somebody down the street to make something.
Right. There's too many out here.
I made a whole mixtape. I did Daily Bread.
You made a song a day.
I made a song a day.
Let's get
and
that.
That was kind of... I could tell from the beginning, and Q might know this, but when I started it, just rapping on people's beats every day, you kind of just sharpen your skills up. And
True.
it's not even like you put it out just have.
But that's what I'm saying. But you didn't put it like it wasn't your intent to make a mixtape. Yeah, you just making songs to sharpen.
But that's what I'm saying. But I see these artists every time they put something out, they're putting these mixtapes out one right after another, and I'm like, am I going to get an album from you? Like, am I going to get something? They're just constantly doing the mixtapes.
There's one little trick I heard, and I heard it from I think Rad P and somebody else. Shout out to Rad. Is when you do like an industry beat, if you're doing a show and you got original content, nobody knows who the hell you are. If you just do a familiar beat, it's kind of like they start paying attention. So it's kind of
that is a trick.
And that's like I said, when you're first coming out, I can see you doing that. That way you can get people to kind of listen to you because they're going to hear the beat and be like, oh shit, like I did with the Meek Mill's beat. But I was thinking I was going to hear Verb, but I heard Meek on it. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. I was like, that's a Meek Mill song? What the hell? So, you know, that's my outlook on it as a
he got you though. He succeeded.
Yes.
You became a fan.
Yes.
So in theory it worked.
You know, so. But it's that whole like. But after so many mixtapes, let that to the side and do some original stuff.
You got highlight Pop for the beat.
Right there, you go.
Pop don't make no beats.
Pop don't make no beats.
We have a there's a
balance spreadsheet though.
I have a producer friend, and he just posted up yesterday that he hasn't made any hip hop beats in like the past 2-3 years. Like he got away from doing the hip hop beats because he was like he wasn't feeling it anymore or whatever, you know. So, and he's one of those producers that he's very versatile when he makes beats. Like I know you've heard it, like you hear a beat and you be like, oh, that's so-and-so. I already know that's so-and-so because you can just tell that that's that type of beat that person makes. Whereas Naughty and Mistress, I've heard beats from them and been like, who is this? And I'll be like, that's Naughty. I'll be like, that's Naughty? It don't sound like a Naughty beat because he's very versatile. See, I like versatile stuff. Like I said, the music, beat, everything is, I like something different. I used to tell the artists, you gotta mix things up on your album when you make it because you want to have something there for everybody. You know, like I said, you give the CD to your homeboy, he puts it in the car. His girl gets in the car, be like, the fuck is this shit? Oh my god, I gotta listen to this shit. And then another song comes on, she's like, wait a minute, hold up.
When I hear that, when people say that, and I feel like if I'm your fan and I like a certain type of music, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to your lane for something. And once you hear that something,
preach kill
the whole time.
Preach kill.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like
Gucci.
It's true. A beginning artist has to test the water. You
Right.
got to figure out which stream belongs to you.
Right.
Okay. When you become more seasoned, now you have a lane.
Yeah.
Like for instance, my career. Ain't nobody gonna come to me for fucking mechanical shit or some fucking put up your goddamn plaster on your wall. That's not my lane.
Right.
You feel me? So you stick to your lane and you really get knowledge in that lane and you matriculate in that lane. Now if you sound the same,
Don't say matriculate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Google that.
No, I'm serious. If you sound the same
Right.
tomorrow as you did today, then that's shame on you for not growing.
Right.
You know, that's all that is.
Damn.
Right. Because like I guess my way of thinking is, you know, my way of thinking is to make something, you make music without selling your soul, I guess. You know what I mean? Is to, you know, make something that is going to catch somebody. It's going to catch.
If my girl got in the car, I played Ja Rule back in the day. So I know that. What would I be without you?
Yeah. You know Ja's coming next month, right? You don't know Ja's performing at Soundstage.
He did.
But yeah, I mean,
That resort shit.
yeah, that festival that he,
Festival.
yeah, I just see something about that the other day. It was on TV. It was supposed to be a big festival, and it was supposed to be all kinds of fancy things, but it was like relief tents, like refugee
like
tents.
Sandwiches.
Yeah, it was like,
It was supposed to be the horse do-overs, but
yeah. I just watched a movie with him in it, and I was just like, what was it called? I Fell in Love with a Church Girl. It was on Netflix. But, you know, like, I think I just, and I guess because I listen to music based on my mood.
Exactly.
You know, so I've my friend Baltimore Big Steve, who, that's the reason why I was in Houston and New Orleans twice this year, is, you know, we went down there. I shot a video. I don't shoot videos, but I shot a video for him and Fatboy DZ's song. He's from Louisiana, lives in Houston, and they got a project together. And then we went down Essence Festival, and we were supposed to be shooting with Chopper. Remember Chopper Styles, Chop. We were supposed to be shooting the song that they got with him, but it was Essence, and we couldn't find his ass. He was everywhere. I met David Banner though.
Okay.
I got a picture with David Banner. I got a signed CD by David Banner. Got a big hug, and he apologized to me because Raheem Devon walked in, and you know, so yeah, can't complain. But Steve's music is based on, you can hear his pain when he's going through in his life, but he does make that, you know, party music and the club music too. It's based on my mood, what I listen to. That's why I guess that's the reason why I think that an artist needs to be able to be that versatile, to be able to put that chick song out there. You know what I mean? To get the females, because females are the ones who actually buy music.
Yeah.
You know,
not everything.
I don't. I can't afford to be buying everybody's music, and you know, a lot of artists they just, here you go. Okay, thank you. Because I used to write reviews too, so
Nice.
I told you I do a lot of stuff for the local artists. I do a lot of stuff because, like I said, this interview right here, there's gonna be a lot of people that I know that don't know who you guys. I didn't know who you guys were, and I'm gonna be thanking Skip for days now that he introduced me to you guys.
That's what the next one we got.
Hey,
Let me tell you a story about when I met Pinky the porn star. I almost had I was this close. I was in club, I was in New York and shit. They was hitting me for like $20 for the cranberry and vodka, right?
Oh my God.
I couldn't do it, right? I said, I'm broke. Man, at this time, I'm like, I'm broke, baby. I can't do it. Alright, so boom. So I left out the club. So I go outside, smoke a black amount. Shout out the black amount. I'm in New York. I'm broke. I'm like, yo, what am I gonna do? Yo, I can't go back in the club. I left the club. I ain't drive. What the fuck am I gonna do? Right? So I'm like, shit. Let me go to the corner store. Right? I go to the corner store. I need another black and mild. I see some white boys walk out with beer. I said, yo, they sell beer at the corner stores lit, right? So I go to the 40, that's still reserved, right?
Oh my Lord.
It's 211, right? So I'm underneath, you know, what the fuck is them things, them little metal things, and you know, what the fuck are them shit? The Spider-Man joints. The scaffold joints, right? I'm underneath a scaffold, right? I got the 211, I got a black and mild, it's raining, right? So I'm painting the picture for you, right? I'm all by myself. I'm not even driving. My cousin's in the club. I'm like, damn, it's early. I'm like, shit, what the fuck am I gonna do, right? So, facts, I'm fucked up.
Oh my God.
I'm big fucked up. I'm like, I'm in New York. What am I doing? I'm like, let me see if I can get back in the club, right? So I walk back to the club. I get back to the club. I'm like, yo, two guys in front of me. They're like, yo, $60 again, $60 again. I'm like, bitch, I'm broke. I told you I'm broke. So I get to the door, and he was like, yo, I remember you, because he was bugging out in the line. He was like, go ahead, go in. I was like, yo, so I got in. I ain't paid shit. I got the 40. I'm on everything. I'm drunk, acting a fool. I'm just on everything. And then I seen Pinky, and I was just like, I'm like, fuck it, yo. It's Pinky. So I go over and say hi to Pinky, start talking to her, and then guess who hated on me? Guess who stepped on my toes, yo? Mr. Marcus.
I'm sorry, I love Mr. Marcus.
Mr. Marcus came through, gave her a hug.
Oh yeah, this
said, who this? She said, a fan. I was like, I was devastated. I thought we had something.
You thought you had that connection.
Did he have the hat on, y'all?
Yeah, of course
he did.
I was like, this dirty bitch right here. So if I see Mr. Marcus, it's going to be some problems. On site. Yes, that's my pinky still.
Like that.
And it was still the nice pinky, too. It wasn't
that's what I was going to ask. Like, which one? It was like peak?
It wasn't peak pinky. Okay. She getting a little bit of freshman 15 pinky.
Okay. That's still up there.
Been there before.
I didn't even know she was 8 though.
This at Rocky snatched one of my shots before.
Oh man,
real, yeah,
man.
Choke for that.
I had to charge to the game though.
Yeah, I had the juice that night. I had the juice that night.
You had that 211 head.
That 211, yo.
I can't even smell that shit. My homegirl, that's what she used to drink. I'd be like, just give me the Bud Ice.
That shit bounce back up like round ball with me, yo.
We gotta start drinking Tangerine and tonic again.
Oh, you remember that night? We ended up getting extras and Step It Up.
Yeah, we used to Step Up 3.
Really?
That's
I gotta go watch that.
And they dancing in the rain and shit. My Millie rock in the back.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to put it in slow mo.
Any block. Yeah.
Okay.
Pay for that, you know.
Oh,
I got
why the fuck do we drink that shit, yo? Wow.
Why do we drink $8 Burnett's every night?
That's true.
Oh, the Burnett's.
Oh, yeah.
Those are multiple runs for Burnett's.
Yeah.
The 100 proof absolute.
100 proof absolute. I was taking shots of that.
Why did we just pop pills out of Liz's little grab bag?
The trio.
Yeah. We didn't even know we was taking
it. The pills, man.
Probably taking vitamin B. Like, yo, I'm fucked up. You feel them shit? Yo,
I'm gonna play a couple more songs and take a little break. Yo, this conversation, they going down memory lane. I'm laughing right along with them like I was there.
Man.
I've been in certain situations, similar situations.
I'm to say anybody can
you know, some of that stuff I didn't get to meet Mr. Marcus like he got to meet Pinky, but yeah. If I was there, I would have had you back. All right, I would took Marcus right on with me, and you could have Pinky. I would have had you back. But yeah, we're gonna listen to a couple more songs, and I don't know how long y'all want to be here because Cabo's not coming. He's the show that's right after mine. I already hit him up. I was like, "You coming?" He was like, "Nah, you can dip whenever you want to." So, but we
check that out. We going to the studio?
Yeah. So we play a couple. They going to the studio. So yeah, we're gonna play a couple more songs. We're gonna come back. And
I just want to play some of my records.
How you try to
already on the record,
but you know,
what's right back?
I want to play Polygamy.
Okay. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So why you trying to smoke me on letters, yo?
Oh yeah.
Why you trying to smoke me?
Try.
Trust me.
I was outside the booth like this.
Yeah, I'm like this.
The 9 month later verse.
It came to me in my sleep one night, nigga.
Hey, that shit came together.
How you don't like this?
Because I didn't mix it right, yo.
This shit is my shit.
All I like is the beat verse.
Right?
Because I didn't mix it right. Yo, said Snob off of Brooklyn.
Yo,
It's good to go.
We gonna upgrade the sound here?
I don't know this thing. I don't know. You guys can smoke with me.
I don't get caught up in talking about the yesteryears. How and what I did when I was 18. Both folks talking about back in the days, but what they avoiding is how I'm living and shining right now.
I like your phaser work on this, man.
With your pipe dreams.
I like your phaser work on this.
For a little sight seeing. What I got is a
Your phaser work.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was tight, right?
I was like, oh, yeah.
These days, I need a lot of growth for myself. They out there looking themselves up for the wealth. You know, fucking nasty more use. Nigga, knowledge and fire and crown for you. And I'm in tune with it like Patrick or you. They got their face through the like it just got for you. Fuck the light chick, that's for you. From a dumb nigga. Other than myself, you can't look at what your history for this shit.
It's down with my shit.
No, nigga, how?
Everybody's going to look.
Everybody's How do you get into that spot?
Yeah, we were going to say something. But as long as you get a good group of people who got this shit, then that's how you really make.
So who's losing? Somebody's got to lose money. Somebody's got to gain money.
The leaders who's getting the groups or whatever and stuff like that. The leaders who's finally getting to those positions or whatever and stuff like that. But they not getting people in their groups. They're not able to pull people in their groups or whatever and stuff like that. So you gotta build a support system or whatever and shit. Yeah, I put you a dub on your board. If you put a dub on my board or whatever and stuff like that, I'll send some people your way. You send some people my way or whatever and shit like that. And we all do whatever.
I made this beat.
Pat, what you think, Pat?
I made most of it.
Yeah, because it says produced by Pi on there.
This one's my favorite song ever.
Straight through, and then when you turn, it'll be on your right there. The light switch on the outside.
They like a penny for the ducks, I'm like, word, nigga. For words, modern day slave, now you mad cause I serve niggas. $2 for a Dutch, catch the bus now. Niggas asking for a bus now. I'm down for the fuck $5 in a dream. Do something strange for a piece of change. I got a quarter home now. Loud nigga, decibels and digits make my decimals the commas. Get some change for a nigga, niggas change. Flippin' shit you coin. Head niggas turn tail, but naming names ain't right. Common frank, I jot it down for a price. You ride around to it. In my life, keep spinning, and I keep spinning for the bucks till I kick the bucket.
Kim
Going
Jose.
hard in the paint, Snob Ross, picture vivid.
Okay.
And I show you how to do this
Said
shit.
my snobs, my
Things
fans,
going on in my life. I'm trying to get it for a get back. Take it. My shoes, I get the steps slow. I know you want some. A lot of things going on in my life. I'm trying chaser, and more Hennessy. I need less advice, more cigarettes. I need you more straightforward, less indirect. I need more money, less hoes. But with my kid, they need less clothes. I need you more Samantha, less Miranda. I need less questions, but more answers. I need less rappers, but more dances. And less crackers telling me to pull my pants up. I'm less Bob Marley, more Mr. Clean. You need less cologne, more Listerine. I need less love, more hate. Less praise, shit'll make me more great.
A lot of things going on in my life. I'm trying to get it before I get mad. Then, tick it, cool. Try to fit up in my shoes, I give you steps. Slow and get mad. A lot of things going on in my life. I'm trying to get it before I get mad. Then, tick it, cool. Try to fit up in my shoes, I give you steps. Slow and get mad. As I make my way to the place where baby Brandy got me fading off. Some simple girl that try to hate the ball. I just shake it off, cause playing tough ain't gon' make you the boss. I'm on a mission, so I stay the course, searching for someone. I ran into a dame who reminded me of a loved one. She said her name Chaos, just left the man cause he got fired on his day off. Came to the bar to get some weight off. I know she looking for a player. She told me she like danger. If I play my cards right, I'll be her Lone Ranger. Bet, I get in the next one the way that flames are. Shit, he get up, and later I can beat it up. And into the floor when we walk, started and spark. Out of eye contact, felt like a walk in the park. I'm hypnotized by her eyes, she love. But why do it feel like I've been here before? Now I know some things going on in my life. I thought you stopped trying to get it before you get mad. Then, take that cool. Try to fit up in my shoes, I give you steps. How many times have you been stopped this play? How many times? I was just smacking my hand every time I shoes. I give you steps.
Just come back. I stopped drinking for that year, remember?
Well, yeah. You were drinking Old Doors. That made me feel a certain type of way about it.
I stopped drinking for a year.
Can I please hear like your last? Yeah, I just want to hear like your last snitch on me and creme de la creme before I go.
Creme de la creme?
What?
You didn't even have creme de la creme?
Yeah, he sent it over. I'd rather. How about we listen to Snitch on Me instead?
What y'all doing after this?
Yeah, I said y'all want to go to the studio. Unless y'all want to go.
Oh yeah, it's in the spotlight. Hard Body Radio, Baltimore Paparazzi. I be forgetting. Skip told me I need to, like, when I come back, I gotta announce it because somebody might be tuning in and not know what.
Hey, you know.
Good morning, everybody. It's the Breakfast Club.
You heard it?
Right.
I gotta see if the plumbers
It's Snob Body Radio. Okay.
Right, it's the Snob takeover is what it is. That's cool with me. I like takeover shows because I really don't have to do too much. Like I said, I've had interviews where I'm like asking questions. They be like, yeah,
There's a store right down there.
There's a lot of
I was about to say,
no, if you walk down that street, that's one block.
50 corner stores around here.
Yeah.
Corner
Corner stores. Everywhere you go.
Not that one that got shut down.
Oh no, yeah.
I heard they had all the fresh roll-ups. They had all the candies.
The corner store on Charles.
I was like, yo, they was you always gotta have that.
They were at the end. It's at the end of 22nd and it would be right there at 23rd, I think, in Charles. Or was it? Yeah, because we drove past there. My daughter was like something about the store. I said that store ain't open. The lights and all was on, but there was a sign on the gate.
Yeah, my barber was telling me. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's Teresa Davis. She's actually a filmmaker and she writes books.
And the book's name is Dope Dick.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
You got the scarf out? How? Yeah. Money. Matter of fact, if I do only $4, yo, give me something, yo.
I gave you a 50. You came back with less money.
What are you talking about?
Are y'all listening to this conversations that are going on? This is like,
I gave you 50. You brought me back 30.
Hey, man, you get
what?
I want popcorn.
When you went to the bar,
$3 popcorn.
Nigga.
Oh, I do want to shout out my friend Brian Hoyt, who tunes in on through the YouTube channel and reposted on his way to work. Like every Saturday,
Appreciate that, Brian.
like yeah. So
that's the type of support that you need.
and that's the reason why he got Supporter of the Year at the Crown Awards last year and beat me.
You see? You the one that tried to get. You know what? I'm about to call you outside.
Yeah, we don't want nothing on video. I don't want to be liable for nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to get plucked out.
Right here, you said? Right here?
Yeah,
There's a store right over there.
Where you about to go?
I'm about to go to the corner store.
Okay.
Get me a roll up. Before I leave, I just got one request because everybody gave me requests.
Put some gas in your voice.
Polygamy, please.
Is it on
If you scroll down, it's on his SoundCloud, or if you scroll down there, but look on the right.
It's probably on that page. I'm almost certain.
Yeah,
it's
it
on
is.
that page.
But no, is it on your page?
It's on my page.
All right, go to go to the right where the info is. Go up. Yeah. And then just show more, and it should have his SoundCloud.
So, Q, what's the new
To the
way?
right.
What's the new way?
To the
Oh,
right,
right
under
there,
follow
under, below, a little bit lower, right there. Show more.
I know you want to
Yeah,
play
it
and
should
take
say
over the
Alpha
world.
B.
You never took it.
Or
You
what
playing
Tommy
a little
Strong.
too damn much.
I'm sorry, the first one.
I was getting ready to say.
Tommy Strong.
Yeah, I got mine because I ain't have no job. I ain't really got no job and shit.
Yeah.
It's
not for y'all. And it's called polygamy. Yeah, so
All right. I got you. When you,
polygamy.
And then walk down the hall and go to the left.
I'll be right back.
Walk to down the hall to the right. You want to first walk right.
it's not on here.
It's not on there.
You send your address.
I thought so.
Yeah, it's not on there.
That shit ain't on. Play Cranberry.
Yeah,
Right?
cool. I got you.
You just play Cranberry.
Okay, I'll play that when he come back. That way he can hear it and everything.
Want to hear some
In
weird
the
shit?
meantime, just
Play some weird shit. I know a lot of people have requests.
just bring some chips if you can.
Chips.
Get some drink.
Chips.
Yeah, how some chips.
Some quarter chips and shit. My God, party mix.
He says party.
That's my guy right there. So we playing? What we playing? Some weird shit?
I don't know what y'all want to do. I mean,
Like the last extension on creme de la creme if you can. If not, play something that you like.
Snitch hasn't heard it yet.
I haven't listened. Whenever an artist sends me music, that I don't listen to it until I get right here.
Okay.
Because that way, I have this thing about being genuine. I'm a genuine person. I'm not a yes man. I will tell people in a heartbeat if I don't like something. And what it is I just don't say, I don't like it. And I don't like it. I will let you know what it is about it that I don't like. I don't like how you flow on it. Like I don't think that you like the beat and your flow or your style mix with that. Like I've been around the music for years now, so I give the constructive criticism. I don't just say, oh, I don't like it. I will let you know. There's artists in this scene that I don't like them personally. I wouldn't piss on them if they was on fire. But if they're, got a good song, they got a good song. You know what I mean? So, that's why I said, like, I don't listen to music till I get here and you get my genuine, and like people don't, I kind of zone out when I'm listening because I'm listening. I'm listening to words. I'm listening to the flow of how you flow on the beat. I'm listening to all these different things. So it just looks like I'm not very interested in what I'm listening to.
I have a question. Can you pick out who's yet?
I can pick out. That's why when you said it was you, I was like, yo, this sound like, oh God, it kind of sounded like Method Man a little bit. That's why I said, that's you? Hafa, I've picked his voice out. You, I picked your voice out because you got a very distinctive voice too. You know what I mean? So I'm listening.
Your Indian theme.
I like Elron. That's my favorite.
So like I'm just one of those people that I don't bite my tongue, but sometimes I do. But when it comes to, if I say I don't like this song, there's a reason why I don't like the song. And I'll let you know. You know, like I said, my ex, he's a rapper, and he's one of those artists that you can give him any damn beat and he can really flow on it. And I'm like, yo, you make me sick. Like, I want to hate you, but I can't, because you get on any type of beat and you could just flow on it. But there has been stuff I've been like, I think you try to put too many words right here. Like, you try to rush it. And, you know, artists send me music and be like, yo, Lisa, let me know what you think about this. And I'm like, I'm just me. Like, I'm not an engineer. I'm just a fan. That's the reason why I want you to listen to it.
Exactly.
I have a whole EP project from a friend of mine that he don't rap anymore. He moved back down to Alabama, and I want him to release it, but he said, well, I got to redo this. I got to do this. I'm like, yo, please, 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 can you let people hear this? And it's only like 6-7 songs, but you know, it's just one of those things that I want people to hear this. Like somebody made a post that was like, I heard that Snaps has an EP, this, that, and the third. So I said, well, I'm not going to be petty. I was like, fuck it. Yes, I am. I took a screenshot of it because it's on my phone and posted it. I was like, yeah. It was like, oh, Lisa, you petty. Yeah, I am. I'm petty. I just like music. I just like music. I was listening to DC 101 driving in the car the other day. Like, just very eclectic kind of things, you know. Listen to Rush came on. I was like, oh, music takes me back into a time. It puts me in a place, good, bad, or indifferent. You know, memories, just like, you know, y'all listen to this music, like, oh yeah, remember that. Music is life.
Yeah, exactly.
Music is therapy for the artist and for the listener.
That's why I can't listen to music when I'm in the gym anymore, I might be a weird guy now, you know. Because like you said, it takes you away.
Right.
So when you're in the gym, I want to be where I'm at.
Music and sex.
I don't want to be like...
You got to be present.
Yeah, I want to be present.
Music and sex, bro. I feel like when I get my house, I'm going to put like mad fucking speakers in one room. It's going to be the sex room, I swear.
Nigga, like, no, you not.
She's like, she just smiling back there going, but you know, but
if you nigga shit drove
yo, he drove the car with the ticket on there and parking in the same spot.
You don't want
to know.
Right.
I would do the same thing.
Right. But you know, like I said, like depending on my mood, like when I post up music on my page, people can pretty much tell what kind of mood I'm in, you know, and it's because it's something like whatever I'm dealing with that day. Like, you know, like I said, I have a soon to be 20-year-old and I have a 22-year-old. My 22-year-old, her fiance lives in the house along with their 2 children. My son has a 2-year-old that's living in Pennsylvania, and then I have a 8-year-old granddaughter that lives across the bridge with my stepdaughter.
Shout out Hopper Valencia.
So, you know, so I go through stress, you know, everybody goes through stress. Music helps me relieve that stress. It either puts me to where I want to fight somebody or it'll mellow me out.
Yeah, please play like your last. These guys have been playing.
That's how I used to be. You know that song I used to play for you?
I should have just been there, you know. I know.
Right. All right. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm not even like, I'm gonna hear myself.
I don't like it.
Then have me on it.
I was playing Jason Alani.
I don't know how to open it though. I gotta open it. Oh, you done?
I used to have one.
What kind of drunk are you?
All right, so that's what I'm gonna do for you.
Bro, you need to crack a bottle.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Look, he got his own.
Roll up the AC. Better go who's gonna be crazy?
Thank you.
I'm a fresh motherfucker. Yeah, I do a major and got no diploma. My wife give me lemons, I put them in my Corona. Broads coming over, Bacardi and some cola. Live the high life, fuck being sober. Carpe diem, tatted on my wrist. As long as I'm happy, doesn't matter if I'm rich. Don't care if you feel me. Live every day like it's my motherfucking life.
see death. I went from snot nose on the stoop playing dozens to be everything that my fucking dad wasn't. Stay on the job, don't worry about a lane. Why complain? Just focus on the change. Get the picture, I'm showing you the frame. Cause 50 years later won't be no one else to blame. Put yourself, dear God, swear all I need is my health. I could do the rest. Flow 2 left. No, I'm too fresh. Shopping out that new gas. So sick, I'm coughing. Do it to the death. Get it coughing. Niggas eat shit, don't wanna see the chef. Nigga, it's shit. What did you expect? Wake up, grind hard, hustle for the cash. Focus on the future. I ain't worried about the past. Cause I gotta live every day like it's my last. Gotta live every day like it's my last. Today I should die, baby girl. Don't cry when you say my name. Put your fingers up in the sky and sing.
Was not expecting that.
My niggas trying to make them ends. Purple in the below, drinking on Guinness. Ain't no time to be timid. AE for the win. I never settle. I'm here for the medals like Phelps. Put my pedal to the metal and I broke like you say. Heading to the top. To reign supreme. My $1 million dreams on my skull cap. Keep a nigga focused. These niggas be so hopeless. But they can know this. But know this, I'm so piffed. Bitches scheming. Face of a quiet boy. Dick of a demon. And I'm here to raise hell. She say she got a man, so she kiss but won't tell. Just the way we planned. And I'm living like my last day. With some bitches who get nasty. Mad roaches in my ashtray. Wake up, grind hard, hustle for the cash. Focus on the future. I ain't worried about the past. Cause I gotta live every day like it's my last. Gotta live every day like it's my last. Today I should die, baby girl, don't cry. When you say my name, put your fingers up in the sky and say,
You a janitor?
I don't know, bro.
Wake up, grind hard, hustle for the cash. Focus on the future, I ain't worried about the past. Cause I gotta live every day like it's my last. Gotta live every day like it's my last. Today I should die, baby girl, don't cry. When you say my name, put your fingers up in the sky and sing.
Nobody
I never even heard that. You ain't got no winch in your car.
I like that. Like I said, every song that I've heard is I've liked it. There's not been one thing that I didn't like about it. You know, it's very well engineered. It's the verses, the flow of everybody. Like I know you all have heard songs where there's been like you have somebody on there and then the next person comes on there and you're like, they just don't mesh well. Or like I've heard songs where I've heard the first verse and it goes along with the name of the song and then the second verse comes in and you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Right. Like they didn't sit down and talk about this. like you didn't hear the first verse and you just put something else on there. But like
because we would be in the booth together.
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. We wouldn't even be writing together. Yeah, trash. We all just start writing and then we start spitting the bars and we ended up talking about something that's some similar shit. So
yeah, it's like what's happening at that moment.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like, well, when it comes to this whole shit, I feel like, you know, a lot of it centered around Frio because this nigga, you know, he had the first makeshift studio, though. We all go in, we had the stuff inside of his room. I know you was pissed, bro. You know, a lot of motherfuckers sat on your bench.
You was
You talking the apartment in the dorm room.
Yeah, I'm talking about the apartment, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was like a crack house.
Man,
what the fuck?
You talking about 5106?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Woo! Went outside one
Come
day.
home to be mad Chinese food.
Their whole rims was stole off.
The whole
car was sitting on blocks. Like, Jesus. Yeah, that was it, man. I feel like as a group, what was good is everyone was open and honest with one another. So if somebody laid down a shitty ass verse, motherfuckers be like, nah.
We'll take it
off
the song.
No, we don't fuck with this shit, but nah, you gotta deliver it this way or don't say it that way, whatever case may be. And everybody brought something different to the table.
Right, and
that's really
I
good.
wish you had laughed my ass off now.
I got it on my laptop.
Laughed my ass off.
But like that's what I've noticed just sitting here talking with you guys. Like each one of you has a different personality. You bring something different to the table. What I like about, like I said, I have a problem with people who try to sound like somebody in the industry. Now, my man Paco, who was killed last month, sounded and looked like Tupac. He didn't try to sound like Tupac. Paco. That's crazy. That's wild. Yeah. He sounded and looked like Tupac. So much so that John Singleton was going to cast him in the movie.
Oh shit! Wow.
So it wasn't that he was trying to sound like Pac. It's just that he just naturally sounded that way. Like I said, when I heard you spit, it was like you kind of reminded me, like the way your voice sounded was like meth, but you know, it wasn't like you were trying to sound like him. It was just, it come naturally. And that's what I like. I like to be able to hear, like you say, can I pick people out? And like, I can't say that you all flow like so-and-so, or you sound like so-and-so. You all have your own individual ways of doing things. But collectively, and I say this about a group that's here in Baltimore called Team Cremate, separately, Team Cremate. Separately, they're very good artists. Together with the chemistry that they have, they're a phenomenal group. They just put out it's called The Gift 2, because last year they gave out The Gift, and it's just songs that they've recorded that they didn't use on their project. Right. So, you know, like I said, collectively, you all, like, I'm hearing these songs, and it's just like everything just kind of flows, and you know, everything just, you know, you can really, I know you don't like it, vibe well together.
I mean, tell you the truth, it was never really our dream to really like do stuff until later on.
Right.
That's just what we did. We usually just get drunk and, you know, partake in adult treats, and before we did whatever the hell we did.
Right.
There was a time Pop made a beat and I wrote a verse every day, and we never recorded it.
Every day.
It just was like, that's what we did. Like, some people play video games, some people play basketball. It's just,
they just make a beat,
just
rap.
Right.
Just rap every day.
Because it was more of a hobby than it was something that you all wanted. Like, you know, that's why I used to ask people, because I say I go harder for these artists than a lot of them go for themselves, because I support the underground scene as a whole. That's what, like I said, I do things that makes me be separate from a lot of other people. Like, my photography is different than this photographer. Like, my radio show is totally different than any other radio show on Hardbody. You know, they get on me all the time, be like, yo, Lisa, you always booked. I stay booked because I'm giving artists a platform to be able to have their music played on the radio, to be seen on video, to be heard. Whereas a lot of the other radio shows, they talk about, I don't know actually what they do. Some of them just
shots. We taking shots. We don't know what you do.
But like they talk. They just talk amongst themselves, or they have a topic or whatever they talk, and they may have guests, they may not. I've had a show where I didn't have any guests and I hated it. I was like, I just played music the whole night. I was like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. It's not about, that's why these cameras, I'm not on camera. I'm not on nobody's camera. Why? Because it's not about me. It's about you.
It's about us.
Right.
Snob.
Right. So.
Yo, remember that night I made you throw up, yo?
Where the hell that come from?
I don't know why I did that to her. I
was fucking trash that night, yo. I was like, you stayed doing some shit like that. Pop for like a month.
But you know what I'm seeing?
Was you more mad when Pop made you throw up, or I made you squat that day at the gym?
Oh.
Yo, I ain't hear from Hopper for like 2 weeks. Hopper ain't never go to the gym. It was squat day.
That's how you know when I'm fucking with you.
What I'm seeing is that you all started out, like you said, just doing this stuff as a hobby. And what that did was it gave you a stronger connection with each other. And that's the reason why I think that you guys make, you know, better music than, you know, if you didn't really have that connection. Like, if you all were just doing your separate things, but you came together and you did music together, blah, blah, blah. You have a history, so it kind of makes you guys Like you already know, you already
live together.
You know, yeah. So you already know each other. Like you can finish each other's sentences. Like you know, you are like brothers where you're that close.
Shit, first day I met Pot was that Morgan Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
12 o'clock.
Gardell's?
Yeah, Gardell's, the epic night at Gardell's. I met him at 12 o'clock. We started drinking at 12 o'clock. And by 10, he was behind the bar serving up shots. He didn't work there. He had no shirt on. He had no shirt on. And this is when the club opened. We was already dancing with the like 45-year-old Latinas before that.
Yeah.
And then we was like, yo, you trying to bust in the VIP? I was like, yeah, I'm trying to bust in the VIP. And then we busted in the VIP.
Yeah. And
then I lost Pot. And then I found him again at
I don't know how Pot got back. I remember it was Hassan's car caught on fire.
Yeah. It crashed with
shit like crashed that bar.
Yo, I found a picture with me and with the back of Hassan's car. I found that.
Yeah, we're all friends, and it's ironic that we all can rap like well because we would, but it's not really ironic because we still sharp and stick.
Yeah,
right.
So if like somebody's wagging, I told Chap before, like you gotta come out in that part. Like, you gotta be better than that. So
right,
and we just won't let Pot brutally honest and shit, and
right. So. And as far as being like an engineer, like I've had this conversation before with people. Actually, like I said, my ex, he did a song. He let me listen to it, and the guy that he did the song with, he recorded it in his studio. So the guy's verse and his hook was awesome. Like it was sounded real good. And then my ex comes on, and I'm like, yo, it sounds like shit. Like he didn't even do nothing to it. Like he didn't check. He didn't do any of the levels. He didn't do none of. See, I pay attention when I go in the studios and stuff.
So look, you should let artists know, right? And this is the plug for Waves and Sounds. What it is that I'm working on when it comes to this thing is, I feel like I've created a space where our artists can come and be themselves. If you record on Pro Tools, on Logic, Cubase, Window, whatever, everything is pretty much done almost on a preset base.
Right.
You just come in, and because of all the acoustics that I've learned through all the training and school and all that, I kind of already know where your overdub should be set, how it should be panned, your ad-libs and all that. Right. So you just come in and you just load up and get your track done. You walk right out. Now, the other shit is the database for mixing. Motherfucking be like, oh, I don't know mix engineers, or fuck it, I don't even know where a studio is. And I got that aggregate too. It's like, all right, well, if you go to any city in this world, just where's the studios at?
Right.
Go right there. Look at right there.
Right. And that's, excuse me.
Corona. Fuck with me.
Corona. Right. And see, and that's like I was, so if when somebody comes to you and you're recording them and everything else, I've seen where the engineer's like, I'm getting paid, so it don't matter. So if your shit sounds like shit, blah blah blah. But any engineer that my name is going on, like my name is this. Like people gonna ask you, where did you record this? And if it sounds like shit, ain't nobody gonna come to me. Mm-hmm. And I think it's people don't take pride in their brand and their name, like because like I said, I know for a fact, just talking to you right now, that if somebody comes in and you be like, no, you need to do that again. It's not even. It's not so much about the money per se as the quality of your skills, your skill set.
I would say that's on what's that shit? What's that bullshit? The Wire. My name is my name.
Right.
And if somebody comes in to record, I'll be bluntly honest. Like, do this, take over, whatever. Because my whole thing is artistic interpretation. I want to make sure that when you leave, what was in your head is on that track. Right. I don't give a fuck what you say, who's the best mix engineer. If you didn't deliver this shit the way you wanted to, we can't fix that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right. That's
and all these tracks we playing, we all used reverb and we recorded ourselves. I wasn't where I was now.
Right.
We did this shit in a basement.
Yeah.
Makeshift studio.
Apartment.
Well, Shaka Pitts is always his slogan has always been, you don't need a studio, you need an engineer.
That is very true.
Because, he had a studio right down the street, down in Maryland and 25th, and we was down in the basement. And he's one of the first engineers that I witnessed. like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs, but I pay attention. I've been in his studio. I've been in Street Legal Studio. Where else? I've been in a couple of different studios where I'm sitting there and I'm listening to whoever's recording in the booth, but I'm also watching the engineer and I'm watching them move this, I'm watching them do this, I'm watching them do that. When I used to make ringtones, I used, was it Cool Edit Pro or whatever?
Cool Edit Pro. Shout out to Peter Quiznard.
Yes.
What is it? Quizguard?
Yeah. I still have it because I still use it for certain things. Too. I don't record. Well, actually, that's a lie. I did record a commercial on there one time, but I've watched. Shaka would be in there, and he would record people, and then he would be in there, and he would be doing all this, and he'd be listening. We're all out in the front talking loud, everything else, but he tunes everybody out, and he's doing this, and his rough copies sounded better than some mix downs.
That's how his should be.
You know, and that's why I say there's what people do is this: they can't afford studio time. So their homeboy goes and downloads Pro Tools or Logic or whatever, and they teach themselves how to do it. And then you're like, oh, that sounds like
my shit is. Or they get equipment and charge like $40, $50 per hour. My shit is $60 for a session because I already know an hour is not enough time. So
right.
3 hours, $60.
See, and that
membership though.
Yo, Q's right. He probably like started cutting himself. That's how passionate he is about great quality.
I know he's fucked something up, but I got shit straight out of my studio.
It used to be so fucking hard on
because the thing is, bro,
it's so
fucking hard. I love these niggas.
I was about to shed a tear.
But he wanted you to be the best. He wanted you to be the best that you.
I mean, I appreciate it. Most of us here got kids right now, right?
Right.
And there's two things
Shout
that
out
I think
Damien
about.
And Danielle.
There's some things that I think about. One, when it comes to music, right? I'd rather you be in the studio talking about what is on your brain instead of you out there actually doing it.
Right.
Right? So when I first started the studio, I ain't gonna lie, I ate off the dope boys. And
right.
they was really good clients. I mean, like I would say for that moment of time that you in the studio, and I ain't hit them over the head. Like, at that time, it was like $4, $53, some shit like that. But I ain't have all the high ass gear that I did now.
Right.
But they be in there, and I'm telling you, they come in there with their homeboy, and they could be talking about just about to kill some damn body. And they'll go on the track, and they'll say all that shit. Then they start laughing and shooting the shit, whatever case may be. I'm just like, inside, they're just like you and I.
Right.
They got their moves, not this and the third. So whatever was on that man's mind, I just saved whomever he was going to act that shit up.
Right.
From really having that shit acted out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now he got the aggression off. Like you see 50 Cent was like, yo, music, saved him and all that shit when get your artist in and record your shit and all that. It's really a therapeutic thing.
See, and that's why I've always said that and music is therapy not only for the fan, but it's therapy for the artist.
Yes.
Because that way, like you said, like I said, Steve, he's going through a lot of stuff. With his two of his daughters' mother. He has 3 girls. I said, boy, I don't know what you did in your lifetime to get all 3 girls and no boys. But yeah, I don't know what you did, but yeah, you get paid back somehow, somewhere. Yeah, so the mother won't let the middle girl come and see him. They had to go to court and everything else. He gets the one girl. He gets the youngest girl every weekend, but the other girl is like every once in a while. It's like she's doing the shit out of spite, basically. Mm-hmm. And he talks about it in his music. And I told him, I said, a lot of people can relate to that. If somebody, like, people can relate to your pain, they can relate to your happiness, they can relate to your wanting to party. That's why I say it's therapy for the artist, because if you're dealing with something negative, you're dealing with something that's happy, you get that off of there, you get it out there. That's like me with writing. Like I said, my Facebook post, sometimes like you'd be like, this bitch is bipolar as shit. Yeah. Sometimes I am. But if I've had a conversation with somebody and like whatever they're telling me is like wearing on me, I need to get it off, I will write a post and now it's off of me. Yeah. It's just like an artist.
As I said to people all the time, you dictate what side of me you get to meet.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I'd be like, yo, you can wake up and be in a happy ass fucking day and mood and all that shit. And then you can wake up and be wanting to fucking be implosive and spaz the fuck out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I really understand that. And with me, man, I listen to, like I said, a lot of different genres of music. Right now, Empire of the Sun, right? I got caught on it late.
Yeah.
I like some of their shit. And Andrew McMahon, like, I really do. I really fuck with a lot of these tracks. And to be honest with you, I feel like if I could go back and say I want to live in sound, I really would say that's the one thing you can do for me after this earth. Like, so you can live in the beat. Because that music just transforms your mind.
Right.
I can listen to a pop music like somewhere totally different.
Right.
In your current situation. So yeah, music, man, is really therapeutic. It's really life.
That's why I said, like, listening to the music, right? It, like, the beats, you know, like, they'll take you certain places and whatnot. These two over here cracking the hell up. I don't know what the hell they laughing. They
Hot 97 hates me. That's all.
He said Hot 97 hates you. Like hates you. Like really hates you. Oh my goodness. It's crazy. This
is brutal. Criticism.
Can we get my?
Cranberry Vodka, because the other song is not on your or anything. But yeah, I will play this.
Oh my bad, yo. Sorry.
You gotta
holy
USB to plug in and play shit if needed.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, because what I do.
You see, we don't know.
Yeah, I got it. Oh my bad. Oh man.
Fresh back from LA. Got back and then wild the next day.
Y'all in tears over here. What the hell?
Still watch Law and Order. That's word to my daughter. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. Them niggas do they thing, but they should be looking sloppy. You know how I be, guaranteed it's gonna be quality. Loud and varieties, indicas and divas. Same for my bitches. Hood rats and divas, AKs and Ninas, Benzes and Beamers. How we go? House down, cheese up, ease up. Get the fuck about my face. Not fond of the fake love, but appreciate the hate. And if you ain't a snob, you ain't eating off this plate. I be really state to state. In and out of town, trying to get up in the game, but you constantly out of bounds. Look, this ditch Joy Rich, I be on some fly shit. Give me the loot, ready to die shit. Who shot you? Hop up Balenciaga. I don't do the product, to me they don't love the proper.
I'm proud of this nigga right here.
I'm a Messiah, my people from y'all, so I'm connected with them shotters. Cranberry vodka, hustles in my vein, inherited from my father. Strong work ethic, yeah, I get that from my mom. I'm all about a dollar, trying to do some business out. Cranberry vodka, hustles in my vein.
You know, that's like one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah, so now it's back to the basics.
I can't do dark liquor. Dark liquor, I'll be fighting. I'll be fine, and if somebody do something and I'll be just like, I can't sit. This is proof. I can't sit. I don't sit. I don't know how.
I ain't really gotta say shit. Nah, I ain't really gotta say much. You take like the joke. I don't really like to play much. Putting in this work, got us buzzing like cicadas. Certified asshole, don't ask me for no favors. Out west, the dress is Hollywood hard. I've been doing this up since Curtis dropped out of rob. The people fuck with me, I don't need you niggas blogs. Feeling just like bitch when you pulled up in that song. Yeah, and you's a permit ass nigga. Go and sip your little T-Zo, post some more liquor. The lanes gon' hate cause the brand getting bigger. Snobs never die, I see free, that's my nigga. Shit. Cranberry vodka, hustles in my vein, inherited from my father. Strong work ethic, yeah, I get that from my mom. I'm all about a dollar, trying to do some business popular. Cranberry vodka, hustles in my vein, inherited from my father. Strong work ethic, yeah, I get that from my mom. I'm all about a dollar, trying to do some business popular.
What ends then? I thought it was.
I got Snitch on Me. I got that one.
Request.
I got that one.
Polygamy.
I don't have it.
It's not on my page.
No, it's not. That's why I didn't play it.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
Just how like the lights.
I hate listening to songs, but I think about it as hot rappers, bro. I would have never wrote this song.
You don't let it rock just like that.
It's a version sound.
That shit. Yeah.
Did I make this?
I had to look because it sounded like something that you. Yeah.
I did something like that. I remember it.
I'm too disrespectful to be successful. Get money, fuck bitches, love is too stressful. This ain't special. I got a gift, change, smoke the bus back to back and wait for the next quote. Escape from reality, you brag about your hourly, I brag about my salary. I let the money burn like a calorie. You ain't even got a salary. Niggas worry about the old me, but the old me died with the new me. You hate me now, yeah, so what, sue me. Game tailor-made, I just do what suits me. If you niggas rag on me, you can tell them I killed this shit. If you niggas snitch on me, you can tell them I'm running that shit. If you niggas spit on me, you can tell them I stole that shit. If you niggas sell on me, you can tell them I did that shit. Back down never. Heard I was gonna be a failure, on get the goal locked in the system. Look at this failure, your skin get paler. All your all-stars, lifestyles ain't a pillar. Started from the bottom, then did my climate. My bloodstream is larger, you ain't built for the climate. My mom's root for Kello, Rockefeller, Randall, when you met my pops stare in the mirror and think the same shit. If I don't ever make it, then who gon' carry the torture? Who gon' make my statements? I can't bear to fail, hold on the seat. Little bro lost in me, so all hope lies in me. I feel caged in, rage out. Partner 12 if you ain't used to the gauge out. I ain't here for war, but I'm prepared for. I did what you did and never seen a jail for. If you niggas rag on me, you can tell them I killed this shit. If you niggas sit on me, you can tell them I'm running that shit. If you niggas spit on me, you can tell them I'm running that shit. I got something on my head. Oh, man. Mine is big funny.
Is it up there on my playlist? First, voting for my playlist. My likes.
Your page. You said go to your page?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not going to be on this page. I know where it's at. It's under my likes on my page. But it's like the very first one. That's why I'm like, it'd be easier for you.
See that coat? Yo, turn the cameras on this coat right now.
I was gonna say ends.
Ends?
Yeah.
This one right here? With you featuring Young Mess?
Yeah.
Alright.
I wanted to play ill. I wanted to see what she was going to say. Well,
I could just send you the track. Like, on you.
Oh, hold up. Because the player was still playing.
Today was a good day. Tonight I get a bad bitch. Simple church name, bring her back to the lady. And lady, she drop it down. She's on the ground. I pick it up. Shit, the streets all around. Love that shit. If it ain't pimpin', something like that. Only love the pussy, never love the bitch. You tied down, cuffin' like you masochistic. I bet I know who it been. All the 8-4 push start ignition. Let the seats white fight. You simple. Passing the seat pimp. I'm pipe. Passing the seat hit. Jordans on my feet. Great 5, great bro. High definition. Don't watch me, watch. G-Shot, no low key. I'm on O's on me. Searching like I'm Trent. Pound bitch. By the pound, then me think I'm pissing in a cup. Fuck very much, nigga. Cherry on a Dutch lick. Unhappy cherry red beam, my bitch with cherry hill square. Cherry red, going out for more. She wanna fuck. Front, nigga. More than a name, it's not a game. If it was, you try to check boxes, check moves. Snatch your bitch up. Tommy Fisher. Whatever cherish your time to die, your bitches is trite. Niggas sacrifice the pussy life. She found me, she found religion. I ain't lying, let's be lying with your significant other lines. You know that you want to a slaughter, get the message like spam. You go to turn your own ham in the yam. Thanksgiving to me for birthing these niggas. This is postpartum. Post-haste sound power.
Okay, well, when it's done, yeah. Because if I do it now, it's going to cut the song off.
Only love the bitch, never love the bitch. Hey, where your heart at? Love that shit.
Thank God you can play it back in the light.
Ain't shit changed my mind. Ain't shit changed my mind. Never ends to the end. Wow, that's hot, man. Every night they say it. Every night they say it. It never ends for the end. That's why every night they say it. Every night they say it. Ends for the end. Love that shit. Love that shit. Ain't shit changed with the bitch. Ain't shit changed by my money. Never ends for the end. But I love that shit. I love that shit. Only love the pussies, never love the bitch. Where your heart at? Oh, thank you. Back to the Hamiltons and Frank. High as fuck on the bus on the AM shit. Love that shit. Look, ain't shit changed with the bitches. Ain't shit changed by my money. Been front. Get green, love, pink. 50 secret stash, what I keep. You don't need to know that. What you need to know is where your hoes at. IJS, but I digress. If I ain't making funds, I make. I mention hoes, time is money, can't afford to pay attention. No, I lived through 2 recessions. I figure we're in a draw, the markets is soft. So the niggas time to capitalize. At HQ building cash, AE cash. Fuck you, pay me, period. Yo, man, pay me when you come up off your period. And your bitch too. On the third base when you were coming home. You could have hit, but I got the dome. Love that shit, love that bitch.
Song sounds great right now. Song sounds great right now.
Yeah, bro. The video for this shit.
So how nice that is.
Yeah, I'm trying to do one when I go out and
Hey, yo. That was Frank Dude.
let me get this.
Yeah. Welcome back to Hard Body Radio.
I'd like to give a shout out to you and
Navi Takeover.
Okay.
Right.
Send the buns in. Remember the intro to send the buns in?
Ooh, send the buns in.
Send the buns in.
I have sent the buns in.
We are here with the Snobs.
Yo, that was such a laid back, like it was just a laid back song, like just kind of made you just like
Yeah, that's one that
we are versatile.
I mean,
Opulence.
we do things.
Yes, like Hopper's coat.
What? I talk about opulence.
Look here. This the coat they talking about. That's what they talking about.
Chelsea boots on, my guy.
I still gotta keep it hot.
You know,
Right.
okay.
Jim Jones said no to the Chelsea boots. I want to play. Can I get a request there?
Well, I mean,
I'm about to cut.
No, it's not.
I know because Yo, it's 9:18 now. I know y'all got stuff to do. I mean, y'all want to give out some shameless plugs. Plug your studio.
Shout out to Carson Wentz in Philadelphia.
Shout out to Gucci belt.
Oh damn, opulence. My bad. You saw that?
Thank you for having us.
I thank you guys for coming through.
Shout out to Skip.
Right. Most definitely.
Shout out to Team Cremate.
Shout out to Donald Trump.
What?
Who said that?
You violating Puckle.
Fuck yeah.
That's a violation. Flag on the play, everything. So I thank you guys for coming through. I really do. Anytime y'all want to come back in the new year, let me know.
Oh, that's a bet.
You know what I mean? I do book up, but you know, I might be able to sway some stuff or whatever. And like, you know, so.
That's a bet. Exactly.
Right. So next week it'll be the beginning of the year. So Happy New Year to everybody. It is New Year's Eve. I got Kojo, who's from Annapolis. He's coming through. I got Judah Priest coming through the week after, Wu-Tang affiliate.
Oh, shout out to speaking of Annapolis, shout out to my homie Billy Mag and YFB, Yo Fire. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get my man Take Bang up here.
Yeah, I fucking
Yeah, so I will see everybody next Saturday, and everybody be safe in the new year. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a Team Cremate song. You know.
See, that's love. You give it air time out.
Yeah, so
love for the new year.
I will see you all. I'll see y'all next year.
See you next year.
Oh, it's a cool year. You already judging the quality.
He calculated his head. You recording on your phone and start trying to get this. You got more in there?
You just leave right there. I'm gonna put the trash out.
I would have never thought Team Cremate would have had this song.
Well, this is their little like.
I would have never thought this would have.
They have a song when they first came out. It's called "Burn Everything," and they ended up making a remix to it. And like, yeah.
I would have thought it been like
Oh, they got some. But this is like one of my. Yeah.
I can get you seen on the map. Girl, you get them jeans over there. Get them jeans over there. Let's call for the alcohol. Tell the bartender send another round over there. Hey, girl, sit it down over there. Before we hit it, girl, let me get it.
I would have never thought in 20 years they would do this.
Like how you talk, how they move when you walking. Your girls looking fly, my boys fresh to the coffin. Now part with your friends, you see them in the morning. This song, baby girl, you ain't gotta worry about it. I'm the youngest in the crew, I know you heard about it. He only make you come one shot, couple more. Talking all that good shit, now what you running for? Shorty and rebel, the young and I get it jumping. Guaranteed I ain't it, you need it, I keep it coming. Oh, you got a man, I'm keeping it on the hush. And if it comes down to it, just tell them that I'm your cousin. I can keep a secret, baby, and hold it like it was nothing. Neighbors think we fighting and screaming and all this cussing. When I know it ain't you, baby, bring it back with no discussion. Like a shitty automatic, that you was back, you the
Hugging, I know I'm bugging, but baby, look, it's apparent that I want it